I get it. But to say that if alcohol or any type of drug was involved, like that wouldn't play a part of it, kind of crazy. Why wouldn't he just go back with them? Why didn't he get in the boat with them and go back with them?
Exactly. It doesn't make sense, right?
I'm asking y'all. Y'all saying this due to them deleting him. If they left and he was still on the island, how did the people that he left with delete him?
Exactly. So that's not making any sense.
And then people keep trying to say that he was the only black person there when there were hundreds of people there.
People,
and not
not
all
black.
There were black people there.
Yes,
There's pictures of black people there. What are you talking
Who
about?
cares? Let's talk about Nolan.
Not in abundance, though. Not in abundance.
Right.
So now it has to be in abundance. What is abundance?
Wait, hold on, real quick. When you say
at first, at first there was like, oh no, he was the only black person there on the whole island with them. Now it's there's not an abundance of black people there.
Hold on, Coon.
Stop it.
Hold on, no, that's a relative thing. And listen, you're talking to someone.
What is it relative for?
Hold on, you're talking to someone who actually lived out there, and I understand the culture, and I understand. I lived out there for several years, so I understand the culture out there, and I understand what's going on.
What's the culture?
Well, that black people and white people be hand in hand and kumbaya and
there you go. Keep going.
Boyfriend, girlfriend, and be together like that. At the same time, in that particular area, black people are very outnumbered. It's probably about 60 to 23, 25%. It's 60% white.
Whose fault is that?
60. It's not about fault. It's just what it is. It's about it's about 65% white. It's about 20 to 23% black, and then there's Asians, and then there's Hispanic people, but mostly Asians, Laotians, you know what I'm saying, Korean.
What was he again?
He was Filipino and black.
Oh, so he was Asian. Okay, cool.
He was Filipino and black. He was a black man, just like your ass.
So he was Asian. He was Asian, right?
Ass a black man.
So he was Asian. No. Answer the question. Was he Asian? Yes or no?
No, he was black. No.
Was he Asian? Yes or no?
He was black.
Ah, okay. So now, you're gonna totally disagree.
His mama was black and God doggone Filipino. She's black.
Okay, so you're just gonna strictly just dilute his heritage, right? You just say he wasn't no type Filipino, right?
He's black. I just told you he's Filipino. He's black.
Okay, so quit trying to deny this man his heritage, which is saying he's Filipino and black. Say that.
I did. He's black.
If
he was not just black.
He's black. Filipinos. Black Latino.
Stop it.
Wait. Time out. Wait. So are we saying
crazy
right now? Are we saying that we are going for the since we so against racism and all that? Are we saying that we all agree, along with the white supremacist one drop rule, that he's black? That's what I'm getting to.
Listen,
hold on.
It sounds like they're racist to me.
Hold on, time out. Let me answer your question.
You agree with the supremacists?
Hold on, real quick. No.
It sounds like that.
Yo, are you serious?
I'm sorry, my bad.
Do you have no decorum? Let me answer you. You have no self-control? Coon Jesus? Yo, MRM, let me say this. I'm looking at his picture, and I'm looking at him with the Jackson 5 afro, and with the Joe Jackson nose, and his black daddy and his semi-black mama. And I'm saying that the man is black appearing. How about that? Is that better for you? The man is black appearing. That got nothing to do with no white supremacy.
Black appearing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
Wait. Like that.
Just made it up just now.
Like the NAACP president lady.
Oh, Rachel Dolezal. She was definitely black appearing.
I mean, that's what he's giving weight to.
No,
but drop it in her.
Yeah,
I mean, that's crazy.
But the problem is right. Y'all are definitely trying to move the goalposts.
I didn't move any goalposts.
Time out.
I didn't move any goalposts.
Let me just finish my statement. You absolutely did move the goalposts way away from, because we started with your assertion that there was hundreds of black people on.
No, I did not say that. I did not say that. I said there was hundreds of people there. to include
You
black
said
folks.
black. Yes.
but right.
Oh
but
wait,
you,
hold on. Let's
Let
put some money on it. Let's put some money on it.
I'm not. Yo, come on.
You know, I like money. I like making money. If you said I said something, I would love for you to put some money on it.
Let me finish.
Because I got it up right now and I can bring it to you.
But hold on.
Okay. Well, fix your statement. Not you. Talking about
you fix your statement. I'm about to mute you because you don't have no self-control at all. Like I'm gonna have to mute you, I see, because you are doing no self-control.
I was talking about the bug-eyed person.
You gotta let me talk. Hold on, you gotta let me talk. So let me just say this. At the end of the day, what you were inferring was there were more black people on the island than more people were saying. And what I was saying to you is that is not necessarily true. He wasn't the only black person, but the relevance to it was that maybe out of 350 white people or people on the island, it was probably 25 to 30 black people. That's the relevance. Less than 10% of people were on the island that were people of color. That's the point.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Where in my statement that there was black folks, including with white folks on that island? It was more than just shut up. Ain't no talking to Bug-Eyed. Now, let me ask you a question. I'm not even talking to her. I'm not even talking to her. I'm not even talking to her. Why she trying to?
But don't tell me to shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up. I'm talking to him.
You're being a weirdo. I don't give a damn.
I'm talking to you.
Watch your mouth.
Okay.
I'm talking to you.
Hold on, real quick. But you don't. Hold on.
Let me finish.
Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Contain yourself, man. Contain yourself, Jim. Relax. Listen, you don't have to throw ad hominem attacks at her and talk crazy to her. No, you don't. Come on.
Every time I see her, we do this. It's not nothing new. That's why I wasn't trying to talk. That's why I wasn't saying nothing to her. So I don't know why she was saying nothing to me. I was trying not to even talk to her.
This is not Fight Club.
I got you. That's why I wasn't saying nothing to her.
I'm good, bro. I'll see you later, bro. If you don't want me on,
I was talking to you.
Hold on, you're good. You're good.
I was talking to you. I wasn't talking to her from the get-go.
Hold on, real quick. One mic, but just do send me my F-bomb money. But you're good, Tyranny. Go ahead. Yeah. Uncle Coon Jesus, relax.
All I'm saying is my statement from the beginning was there was hundreds of people there. He was not the only black person there. There were other black folks on that island. That was my only statement that I made. Now, to say how many there were, I don't know how many there were, but I know he wasn't the only one. So if you want to go there and say, and I said, oh, there was a relevancy between there was like 25 to 30, 350 whites. I didn't say that. I didn't put no number on it. I just said there was black people there too. He wasn't the only one. That was
right.
It.
Okay, but again, what I'm saying is what the point that I was making is it was so little amount of black people that it's not even worth noting. It was too minimum amount of black people comparatively to the people that was on the island. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you on that one. But here's my next point.
Let's keep it.
What does that matter? What does that matter?
You brought it up. That's why.
No. What I'm saying, what does it matter that there was, because what people keep saying out in these YouTube streets is he was the only one there.
Listen again. So again, that's a relative. I never said that. But again, that's a relative statement that would say compared to the majority of the people that was out there, there was only a splash of black people there. So that is relevant. That's
okay. So if that's relevant, then in America, it's the same dang thing based on America's prominence here anywhere. There's so many more white people than there is black. Do you want to say, oh, black people don't matter no matter where they're at in what setting? Because there's always going to be more white people there than blacks?
That's a real nonsensical argument that you're raising.
Well, that's what you're trying to say.
No, I'm not saying anything.
It's pretty much what you're saying.
Wait, hold on. You are the one that introduced
But that's what you're saying,
Hold on for a second. You are the one that introduced that idea. You're the one that introduced that concept. And now you're trying to use your own false phallus statement and concept to try to justify straight penis to try to justify your daggone that's crazy. Hey, hold on real quick. Shout out to TV Trucker. Shout out to TV Trucker. Thank you for the $5. Here come the great white defenders. Oh Lord, thank you very much.
That's a fact. You know I'm out here defending these white blondes, baby.
Well, hold on. As long as you do it, respectfully, so we all can get our points across. I don't mind. We can
Go
have the
ahead,
conversation.
man. Because
All
you
right.
full of it today. I see y'all full of it today, man.
I haven't even chose a side. I'm
You
asking.
did. You lying. You're lying.
Okay,
You're
see,
lying.
there you go. See, why I got
You're-
to mute? Why I got to mute you? Like, I haven't even chose a side. I've been asking the hard questions on both sides. I didn't even get to y'all hard questions yet.
Y'all didn't have no hard
I've been
questions.
asking the hard questions to people who think that they're automatically guilty. But now that you're here, thank you. I can ask you the hard questions too. But let my man MRM get in here as well. What MRM? What say you?
Well, before you go, can I say one thing real quick? I really don't know nothing about this besides what I hear on YouTube. I really haven't looked into it because I want to wait till the actual final reports come out so we actually know something. Because right now, majority of people are just speculating. That's why.
Well, you know, okay, so let me just tell you this. Officer Tatum, right?
I don't even like that dude.
Okay, but let me finish, Tom. Jesus.
Go ahead.
Officer Tatum did an interview with this young man, and this young man is Warren. Warren was on the boat with Nolan. Warren's mother is the judge that they're referring to. That's Warren's mother. So this is extremely interesting, the fact that this interview is going on when the case has not allegedly been closed yet. So that is the significance of this whole thing. So I'm like you. I have been reserving judgment and I have been waiting until more information come out. But I do have some questions about. I'm glad Officer Tatum got the interview. At the same time, I do have some questions on both sides. As far as, do y'all think that this interview is actually an interrogating interview, investigative interview, or is this a shaping of a narrative? And that's what I want to know from you. And
is his mom being a judge have any relevance right now?
Absolutely.
How?
Because they have a group. You already know that when you're
I don't know anything.
Okay, well, let me just tell you. When you're a judge, you have relationships with the law enforcement in the area. You have relationships with the DA in the area. You have these relationships. And sometimes these relationships can be a conflict of interest if you have a certain authority position. And that's just reality.
Okay, so where does she play a role in what's going on now as far as the case or anything else?
Well,
what is her role?
Okay.
Besides supporting her son.
So a lot of it is speculative, but let me tell you the substantiated aspect of it.
Okay.
When they got back, they immediately erased their social media and all their social media posts. They immediately lawyered up and got lawyers. When they got back, before his body ever was found.
Okay.
Beside that, she released a statement to corroborate what Warren is saying now about a week ago. And that is unheard of. But she put out a statement to corroborate the things of the statements that Warren has told her, or whatever the case may be, and she put it out on her Facebook post after, you know what I'm saying, and apologized for deleting her Facebook and for deleting her social media because of whatever reasons that she stated as far as her family safety and different things of that sort in nature.
Okay. Go ahead, MRM, because it's more of you, because I know you've been paying attention, and I haven't.
You got it, MRM. What's going on, man? How you doing?
So I'm doing good. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Shout out to the people watching from my side of the channel too. Make sure y'all come over and give Izzy a follow. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell notification. That way you get notified of videos like this. And Unifier TV, I sent the link out there for you to hop on the panel. And if you see that on there, Izzy, he a good dude. You ain't got to worry about him if you see Unifier TV trying to hop on the panel.
Okay. Y'all are more than welcome to come through and join the conversation. Just no F-bombs to be paid immediately if you say an F-bomb. Go ahead.
The thing is, man, is that I'm just keeping it real. I think the biggest thing that we all need to be paying attention to and actually trying to get to is the truth. That's my thing. Truth knows no color. Truth doesn't choose a side. Truth is just truth, period, man. So the minute I started seeing people want to throw a black and white thing into it, I completely just, blah, I don't care. I'm not trying. because the point is, my point is trying to get to the truth of this. So whether it's all black people there and there's on few whites, I don't care. Whether it's a lot of white people there, only a few blacks, I don't care. My thing is, I want to get to the bottom of what actually happened to that young man. Now, I sat back and this is my first time speaking on this. I literally went live today on my channel today. First time ever speaking on this. And this is after I gathered information, after I text my boy Brandon Tatum. Yes, I talked to Brandon Tatum. Me and him are really good friends, whatever like that. And I even explained this on my channel. How you feel about Brandon Tatum, that's fine. When I say you, I'm talking in general to the folks that's listening. How you feel about Brandon Tatum, that's completely fine. Whether y'all think he is a op or for the Swedge, spell Swedge backwards, SWEJ. You know what I'm talking about. Whether you for them, you think Brandon Tatum is an op for them, that's your own prerogative, that's your own perspective. But it's not going to disassociate me from him as a person, who he is and how cool he and I are. Candace Owens and I are cool too. Anyway,
tell him that Coon Jesus don't like him. All right.
Right.
Okay. Well,
but
okay,
here,
cool.
my point is,
shout out to Officer Tatum. I think it's
say
cool.
We say things like, for example, we want representation. You know, for example, we want this black lawyer to lead this investigation on what happened to this black man. Brandon Tatum is a black man, but I guess he's not, though. He's the black face of white supremacy. He took it upon himself to want to go out there and actually talk to these boys. None of y'all think it's strange that the mainstream media didn't reach out to these young men? ABC, MSNBC, CNN, Good Morning America. Nobody wanted to reach out to those teenagers and get them to talk, because apparently them going in there talking with Brandon Tatum was because he asked. Hey, and he asked the questions that most of us that claim, he asked the questions that we wanted him to. And again, I get what you're saying, Izzy, too, which I completely agree with you on this, right? When you said, was this an interrogation? Was it an investigation? Was it this? It simply was Brandon Tatum sitting down and had a card right there and asking the questions of what a lot of people in the comment sections were wanting to know. That's what he asked these young men, right?
Give me 1 second. Hey, shout out to, listen, if y'all would, do not, nobody kick nobody off the panel. I appreciate you. If y'all would just support the show. Uncle Tom, aka Coon Jesus, has been dropped down for 15 minutes. If someone would bring Coon Jesus back, it's just $20. Bring them back. Listen, I like this is gonna be a dope conversation if we allow everybody to have the conversation. Hey, Coon Jesus, you gotta chill out, because my snipers don't like you talking over me. They don't like you talking over me. They came to hear me. They don't want nobody talking over me. So just chill out. But someone put up $20 for my man Coon Jesus. Or Coon Jesus, you got money. Give me $20, man. Come back. All right. So MRM, I did want to ask you a question though. With that being said, do you think that this interview brought us closer to the truth, or do you believe that it brought us closer to one side or another, and why or why not?
Well, the thing is that I look at it for what it is. It got us to the point to where we actually got some questions answered from the kids that we wanted to ask, right? Y'all wanted answers to this. Is what was happening. People were all, no, somebody know what happened. Here, them white boys know something. Somebody knows something. Somebody saw something. Well, he asking the kids who were there questions on what happened. And now, for the ones who said, why did they delete their accounts? Brandon Tatum asked the guy, why did y'all delete y'all accounts? The young man said, we deleted our accounts because the amount of death threats that we were getting. People were saying, we know you killed him. We know you did this. We know y'all did that. Y'all gonna have what's coming to you. We know who y'all are, where y'all live, your mom and all this. So he said, that's why we deleted our accounts. Now what we gonna do? No, he just making that up. They just lying. Okay, you can say that. That's completely fine. But he did answer the question as to why they deleted their accounts. The young man also said that they were begging Nolan to get on the boat. They were saying, dude, let's go. We trying to roll out. We having some problems right now with this boat. We taking on water, whatever like that. We're going to call the Coast Guard. Let's dip off. Let's leave. They said Nolan Wells wanted to stay behind with the girl. What's abnormal about that?
Well, this is the thing. Well, now, and again, I'm very objective. Overall, people know that about me, and in this situation, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I 100% just want justice for the family, and just want the people to be the family to get the proper answers. I've been scolding people and I've been admonishing people for putting out these videos that are not Nolan Wells, showing him getting stomped out, thrown in the air, and all kinds of crazy stuff. I've been scolding people and admonishing people for just putting out these false narratives and saying things that are not necessarily true, because I believe that that's more hurtful to the family and more hurtful to justice than anything else. I would like to see the truth come out and justice be served, whatever it is, right? Even if it was an accident and he, drowned accidentally, that's fine if that's what happened. I just want to know the truth, right? Now, with that being said, the whole situation about this timeline with them leaving and last seeing Nolan at 3:00, that's where we was at in this interview. It is apparent that something is not quite right with that whole thing. There is something that's not adding up, MRM, with that whole timeline. And I was curious why Officer Tatum didn't go more into that instead of just going along with whatever the narrative was that whatchamacallit was saying.
Now, I can't answer that for Brandon Tatum why he didn't ask certain questions, but I can say based off of me doing the work that I do and also going on panels and talking and actually being an interviewer myself, I can say that you do have those moments where you do, you've done it before, all of us done it, Izzy, where afterwards, dang, I should have said this. Dang, I should have said that. Or I should have asked this. I should have asked that. But again, his biggest thing was he was asking the guy questions based off of what a lot of people were wanting to know. So I get what you're saying, which I understand that too. Now, possibly after something like that, I don't know if Brandon Tatum is going to ask or get with these young men and talk to them again. But based off of what you just said, I can write this down and ask Brandon Tatum myself and text him and say, hey, when you talk, if or when you talk to them again, can you ask this? Because a lot of people have seen your interview and they caught a few things in that interview. So can you go back and ask that young man these questions right here? Now, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But what a lot of people do, though, and we can see it even in the comment section right now, some people have already made up their mind. For example, I just saw the comment right now. Somebody said, no, it did not happen that way. You're lying. Izzy, you know me long enough. Did I not say Brandon Tatum asked that young man a question and the young man said the reason why I deleted my account was because of this? I didn't say that's why he deleted his account. I'm telling you what the young man said he said. So you can't put it on me to say I'm making up lies or nothing like that. And that's why a lot of people get caught up in words because people are quick to speak and not actually sit and listen to what's actually being said. Right now, the other thing did you see the interview with the black kid he interviewed as well?
Yes, you talking about Javon, or you talking about the one afterward?
The one.
Talking about Tristan or something like that.
When he was saying how, like, for example, the mother says she don't know him, but then Tristan's like, bruh, like I drove over there, I drove him to school and left my car there. We got pictures of us being at prom and everything like that. He's like, that's hurtful. Like, that's crazy to say she don't know me or know who I am and whatever. Now, people are trying to say that, yeah, look, he said, no, he said she's right in the fact that we weren't like lifelong best friends. I got to know him in the 9th grade. These kids are telling you exactly what it is. Now, in this particular case, the question is this: by them saying what they're saying right now in the situation, is that going to be enough, or it gotta be some more to that? That can't be just it. No, it's not that. No, they can be lying, which y'all got that. You got a right to do that. They could be lying, but still, irregardless of what they're saying, isn't our whole point is to get to the truth of what happened to him, right? Now, being in medicine, a lot of us have to go through rotations and things like that. We had to go down to where the coroners are. We got to see bodies in the morgue and everything like that, right? Because sometimes when you go into medicine, whether you want to be a doctor, whether you want to be the forensic person, you get to choose the field that you want to go down when you get into medicine. Now, what I'm saying that for is this: a lot of people were saying this whole deal about his body and the red mark on him on the back of his head, different things like that. And the autopsy, Ben Crump wanted an independent autopsy, correct?
Yes.
And they said it was undetermined whether he was killed, murdered, homicide, correct?
Deleted, yes.
Now, I can tell y'all this. If you come to me and you say, can you tell me the etiology or the origin of how my leg got broke? If I'm only going to focus on how your leg get broke, that's the answer I'm going to give you. So if you want to make a determination when you come to certain people in medicine and say, all I want to know is when you do this right here, this investigation, can you tell me whether he was killed, murdered, homicide? And they say, you know what? Based off of our autopsy, we can determine whether he was killed, murder, or if it was a homicide. That does not mean that there was some sort of foul play in there. They're just saying based off of what they did, they can't make the determination that that's cause of his death. Now, if you were to say on this autopsy independent person, can you let us know whether he had sea water in his lungs, sea water in his stomach, sea water in his cavities, in his skull. We want to know if you can find it in there. Now, if they come back and say, yes, we found seawater. Yes, we found seawater in his lungs. We found seawater in his stomach. We found seawater in his sinus. Yes, we found those things. So then you can almost say, well, I think that might have been from him drowning. So my point is, a lot of times, and we have to understand this, they use what I call a sleight of words by saying, see there, something happened. They said it was undetermined. Yes, because he only wanted to know if it was a murder or blunt force trauma or something like that that caused this. And they say, well, that can't be determined. But that doesn't implicate that something actually happened to him.
Right. Now, but this is the thing. I can agree and concede to that, right? And concur that. The thing that is kind of bothersome is the fact that it seems as if, and again, I have to go by seems, as if there was no cooperation with from the first medical examiner slash people who did the autopsy to the second medical examiner slash people who did the autopsy. It seemed to be missing information, like they weren't that they weren't really cooperating with each other and sharing notes. So that is a thing that I think is problematic in the mind of people, because there was a reason why they kept the throat. There was a reason why they kept, the stomach or the lungs or whatever the case may be. There was a reason why they kept those particular body parts and why they were examining them. But I do believe that there should have been, or don't you agree that there should have been some sort of dialogue or some sort of cooperation between the two agencies if it was about getting to the answers to what actually happened to him and getting to the truth?
Yes, 100%. And this is what, like I said, I can just tell by the comment section, people are they don't even understand any of this, really. A lot of, if you're not in medicine, you don't even understand this. So my point in saying it is this. Yes, the stomach, those different parts that you just mentioned. Yes, what we should be asking too, why isn't Ben Crump them wanting that? You see what I'm saying? This is where people get mixed up. Ben Crump them are not asking for that.
Are you sure?
People get pissed off because I'm up here telling you exactly how this thing goes down. If you tell me to look for the etiology of a specific thing, I'm going to look for the etiology of that specific thing and focus on that. Now, me, I can go, oh my God, this dude got all kind of, I seen sea moss, I seen microbes in his stomach, I seen this in his cavities, I seen this in his larynx, I seen this right there in the dude's epiglottis and everything like that. I seen, man, wow, I see all this in here. But Ty, we don't want that. We want to know, can you find any shape, form, or fashion of blunt force trauma on his body? Then I'm going to tell you, yeah, that came out to be inconclusive. There's no signs of blunt force trauma. See what I'm getting at? This is what a lot of people are not understanding. What should be said, Ben Crump them should want everything. The truth.
Give us they're saying they did ask for it. Give me one quick second if you don't mind. Let me just welcome some people in the building. Hey, Avixa Pepper, I appreciate you, sis. Are you behind in the stream, sweetie? Because I did already drop Tom down. And, but if y'all could support the show without dropping anybody, especially not MRM, he's simulcasting. So I'm not going to let nobody else get dropped, okay? If y'all could just support the stream, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to celebrate y'all all at the end because this is a lot of people. Listen, if y'all would, everybody just hit the like button at least. And if you can, if you be so kind, support the show, okay? What's up?
What? Your assassins was coming for me?
No, they weren't.
Oh, I'm about to say, wait a minute.
No, nobody didn't come for you yet.
I'm not cussing nobody out. They ain't calling nobody.
Nobody didn't come for you yet. I'm just making sure. I'm just putting the word out to don't leave my man MRM alone. And when Tom comes back, let Tom live. You know what I'm saying? He's good for the show. You know what I'm saying? Let Tom live. I ain't get to hang out with my guy Tom in a while. So I want to hang out with Coon Jesus today. Hey, shout out to CJ Bush. What's up, CJ? The Raging Rooster is in the building. Said Mississippi check-in. What's going on? Her Life Chronicle said, if you don't know, why are you up there? What's that here but not? What's going on? My man, Emperor Coach at 3 or 30 grade. What's up, number one? Y'all know what to do, so do it. The likes are already too daggone anemic. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Likes are free. Hey, Fire Star Lord said, the witch is just sitting back on the hill watching the whole thing go, and there's no effing way I'm dating one of those. Oh, Lord. I don't know how we got there, but shout out to you. Shout out to Gas Mask. What's up? What's going on? 676 said there are no criminal charges. It isn't yet, but that's you know what I'm saying. Raging Rooster said Officer Tatum is not going to be able to give anyone answers. Officers always go at the girls first in real situations involving death in Mississippi. This is just for monetary gain. Black Man of Filter in the building. He said they asked for it. Izzy, they did ask for it. So what say you, MRM, when they're saying that they did ask for it?
Ask for what?
Yeah, shout out to Vixen Forever. She said, yo, Coon Jesus, you can't call no names. She said you can have a difference of opinion, but if you call names, you out of here. All right. So when your time is up, you can come up.
Time not to do
just don't call no names. Yeah, no ad hominem attacks. Meaning they're saying that they did ask for the preliminary, the facts of findings from the first autopsy to the independent autopsy. They did ask for those things that you said that they did.
They okay, so they're saying that Ben Crump them did ask for it.
Yes, they're saying that
Ben Crump got on. Ben Crump got up and made like a press conference, televised announcement saying that he asked for those other contents of his stomach and his lungs and all that.
In the press conference, I heard them say that they did ask. I heard him personally say that they asked them. I'm not saying that he did a press conference about it, but I heard them say that they asked for the contents. But now the other medical examiner did say, and he's supposed to be a top tier medical examiner that performed the independent autopsy, said that sometimes it takes a little bit more time because they have to, get the toxicology reports. They have to get the things. And sometimes those take a couple of months, basically, essentially like 6 to 8 weeks. So that was the response to that as far as I heard.
See, now notice this. Notice I was saying in regards to seawater.
Mm-hmm.
That don't take no months on that's instantaneous right there. You darn it, put your finger in it and taste it. It's salty. I mean, I'm just saying toxicology, I get that takes time right there. But in regards to knowing that whether his lungs was filled with fluid as far as seawater goes, that's what I'm talking about, because then that can give you a little bit more context into possible what happened, which most likely it was. Now, the thing is that what they came up with and what Ben Crump said is that he said that they found that there was a red marking on the back of his head. That doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean that there was a bruise. It doesn't mean that there was some sort of contusion or anything like that. It just simply means it was a red mark. And when you get put on the table at the corners, they usually put your head behind a solid little plank that kind of keeps the head at a certain angle, whatever, right there, which could cause that red marking back there. But it wasn't indicated there was like a bruise or something, because people took that and made it seem like, well, he must have got hit in the back of the head and anything like that. But, so my thing is this, though, is that when it comes down to wanting to know the truth of something, I'm trying to figure out how does that end up tied into whether you're trying to take up for white people or whether you're trying to take up for black people or whether this was a racist thing when all you're trying to do is get to the truth of what happened to him.
Well, again, the thing of it is that there is a healthy, and I think all of us can agree. Shout out to Chacho. What's up, Chacho? Thank you for the 200 joules, said Flow Stay. I appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. Listen, I'm gonna celebrate y'all all at the end. Listen, y'all, if you want your comments highlighted in red, it's so important that y'all do so through the Super Chat or Cash App. Everybody's putting comments, and I respect y'all. I respect y'all comments, even my mods. If you want your comment, that particular comment highlighted in red, do so through the Super Chat or the Cash App. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Bridget M, for the $5. I appreciate you, my sister. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'm gonna celebrate y'all all at the end, okay? The thing is this, MRM, we all know that there's a healthy, justified distrust of the way that these particular issues are handled in America, especially throughout certain states. And so we would be negligible and dishonest at best to try to make it seem as if there is no case scenario where these situations get unanswered and get unidentified, right? So we gotta be honest with that. If y'all want to come up, y'all gotta be cammed up today. If y'all want to come up. Go ahead.
Right, completely agree. But here's the thing. Why is it, for example, and like a lot of the people, nobody's okay, for example, when you say this has to be a racist thing, you know what I do? I go, okay,
I didn't say that.
No, not you, Izzy. I'm just talking about when I'm talking about generalized people that are saying this. I'm talking about like what I've seen over the internet. That black dude out there with all them white folks, this was some racist stuff. You know what my response was? Okay, since we trying to get the truth, what else could it be? There ain't nothing else. No, wait, what else could it be? Now, like for example, that's why I let it settle for a little bit. Wait, there was a girl? There was some chick in play with this? Okay, did anybody talk to her? Okay, what else? He got friends. Okay, his friends. Did anybody talk to him? Yeah, but see, why is it that if you say race, right? Why is it that we are so, not when I say we, I'm speaking generally. This is kind of rhetorical. Why is it that we are so hell bent on this has to be a racist thing and everybody can agree with that? Everybody can jump on board with that, and then that's all it's going to be. There's nothing else. It has to be a race thing. But then, yet, if you throw in there, what about the girl?
Because it's Mississippi, though.
What about his friends? How come you know what I'm trying to say?
I'm gonna let you get it. Give me 1 second. Let me just answer that real quick, if you don't mind, Coon Jesus. And
You good.
So just
change my name for you. Jeez.
Yeah, it's changing back to Uncle Tom. This is the thing, right? so MRM. The thing of it is, and it's kind of a wild thing because I haven't jumped to it was necessarily racist, right? I don't like the fact that when there's 300 white people and 10 black people, and let's just say 5 white people go out with one black person, and the one black person doesn't come back, that we are like, oh my God, how could you say it had anything to do with race? Oh my God, y'all are so
right. Okay.
Like hold on. Let me land it. So that's the thing, right? So I'm not espousing that it was racist or racial motivation. At the same time, we cannot be pretend or be so dishonest intellectually to make it seem like, yo, there was 5 or 4 or 3 white people and 1 black person, and the black person didn't come back. Like
right
this.
Now, see, check this out, Izzy. What you just said right there, the scenario you gave, I would be 100% like, yeah, that is kind of strange. But again, once you start asking questions, though, that's when it changes up. For example, you just said if 5 white guys went out with a black dude, the black dude did return, you could be like, okay, bro, what's going on? But now, instantly, if you say this seemed like some racial like type stuff, I told you, I would agree, like, yeah, it does. But who are those white guys? Oh, they've been friends with him for 15 years. Oh, wait, time out now. Now it's a little different. Now, this can't be a race thing now. It could be, but now that because they're friends with him, that changes the whole racist thing up. Well, they don't mean nothing. They could have got mad at him being became racist right at that moment and did it. Come on, man. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So in this case, I roll with everybody. Like, I get it, y'all. Yeah, this don't seem right. If it's a lot of white folks and this black dude, well, it wasn't just a black dude, it's other black people and colored individuals on the island too. But in this case, I'm like, yeah, this don't seem right, y'all. Some don't seem right about this. Nobody know nothing. Nobody saw nothing. Who are these dudes? Oh, they've been friends with him since like the such. Okay, now that changes things right there, y'all. Come on now. Now that's what I'm saying, and that's the part that pisses people off when you do that. They don't want you asking that; they just want you to just roll with the fact. No, this is just a racist stuff. Don't ask no question. Who cares if they was his friend? They white boys and he black. That means they. Come on, man.
Right. I could agree with that. Go ahead.
That's been the biggest problem because when you look on these YouTube streets, all that, not even just YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, it's. Well, you know what happens in Mississippi? Well, there's a lot more racist things that happen in these liberal states, to be honest with you. There's more disconnect between, and there's more segregation in these dang cities than anything else. Then you want to put it on these. What's the difference between a poor white person and a poor black person?
Just the color.
Just the color. Because I know if you live out in the South, listen, most of us that's out here, they got white people in their goddamn family. So to say every time you with someone, just because you with an abundance of white folks or you with an abundance of black folks don't mean that either side is racist. It could be family. You just don't know that. But everything I've heard on here is because it's Mississippi. It's because it's Mississippi. You know what happens in Mississippi. No, I don't. Please explain to me what happens in Mississippi. I've heard more racist stuff that happened in California than there ever's been in Mississippi.
Let me just say this. Let me say this. Hold on.
No. Wait, let me ask you this before you go on that. Give me 10 things that you know that's been racist in Mississippi now.
Come on.
I can give you about 100 in California.
Hold on real quick. Give me a second. Because I can give you the same thing, but let's just slow it down. I can, but let's just start again. You're forgetting I lived in that area. So there's that. Let me just say this. Let me just say this before we get too far off the well. Shout out to Dawn. She said we can't convict anyone on that though. Yeah, and this is not, I'm not trying to convict anyone. I just want the truth.
Well,
like hold on.
No, I'm just listening.
I just want the truth, like MRM is saying. I just want the truth. That's it. What I will say to you is this, Tom. This is the thing. Where in MRM, where it becomes racial and racist is the justice system's response to situations that have something to do with a so-called black person losing their life. When a black person loses their life, there have been example after example, case after case, where they automatically deemed it self-deletion. And please don't say the other word, self-deletion. You know what I'm saying? Whereas there was other indications in the particular case. And that is where the distrust comes from. Not necessarily that the people that were involved, just because they were this color or that color, was racist. It is the system's response to what happens to so-called black people that makes it racial or racist.
So
right now, so nothing. That's what I got. So nothing. You have nothing. You literally said because of what the system says. System says what? I mean, just because
they say it's a I just told you they say it's a self-deletion, or they don't really investigate those cases that are.
So when they do investigate it, when they do investigate it, like the dude who was found in the tree in Mississippi State or whatever it was, they did an independent autopsy about that. Why didn't that get leaked? The independence one get talked about. I still haven't heard from Kaepernick on the separate autopsy from that one, the independent autopsy. You know why? Because he didn't release it. Why? Because it found the same thing that the first one found. It's the only way you can say it, because it's been a year and some change later, and we still haven't got a release of that second independent autopsy, because it's going to say the same thing that the cops only know that only thing could be is self-deletion. We don't have no other thing. Unless y'all can prove something else, you're just grasping at straws and don't know the truth, just like everyone else don't know the truth.
No, not the time. Hey, but you know it's Mississippi though. Come on
Mississippi
now.
Though. It's Mississippi though. It's Mississippi, dog.
You know who's no good. That's the only things that kids be now. That's the only
thing, man.
So at the end of the day, like, y'all could clown if you want to. I know, but the issue becomes when a person allegedly drowns in a little stream of water that's like 6 inches of water, and it was all white people and the one black person. They say, "Oh, he drowned. He drowned himself." Or when you go and when you say a person was hung or fell out a daggone window, it was just this black woman that fell out a window that happened to be at a white slumber party. Oh, she just happened to fall out the window. She jumped out the window to self-delete herself. Or when you know what I'm saying, this is the case, and they're like, oh, off the top, there's no evidence of foul play without any investigation. Again, I'm not saying that it's racial or that they're racist. I am saying that there is a disparity in this country when it comes to black people and black people's lives. And anybody who tries to say anything different than that is lying and a liar. And I said it. Like, point blank, period. We all know that that's actual facts. It's no even question about it. When it comes to a black life, a lot of times in the quote unquote system, in the quote unquote, when they go and look at it, a black life has hardly any value. Again, there is a law on the books that has been in the books forever that still says if certain white people in certain states that have white people delete a black person, they can't even get convicted. So what are we talking about?
What law is that?
I'll pull it up.
That's all I want to know. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
not.
gonna pull it up. Just go ahead and say
I haven't. No. I was that's because I never heard of that. But
Okay.
I will say this for y'all that in the chat, y'all didn't like my background because I'm in a shed right now, right? Because my house is being rebuilt, and I currently live in my RV until it's done being built. So yeah, it's just fine. It was my house burned down. So other than that, that's why you see where I'm at. I'm in a shed, but I do have a house to live in, and the house is almost complete. Other than that. The thing about Mississippi or any of these southern states, there's more self people that are alike than there are people that are actually against each other. I would say more people get along in the South more than they would in any of these so-called northern or eastern states. I mean, there's so much segregation in Chicago. It's pathetic. Am I lying about the segregation?
No. Chicago's one of the most highly segregated cities in the United States of America.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I live here. That's what I'm saying.
So to think that everything is literally just because it's the South, that has to be something that was racist. No, man, there's so much racism, segregation that goes on outside of the South that is way worse in the South, but we don't look at it because, once upon a time, the North was against slavery and the slavery. Yeah, all right. Say that if you want.
Why do y'all act like two things cannot be true at the same time?
Oh, wait, when you say y'all, is that a general statement? Because
why? Okay, Uncle Tom. And Uncle Tom, why do you act like two things cannot be true at the same time? Why do you act like that racism or that racism can exist in both the North and the South? And Mississippi cannot historically be a racist place or have racist ideology or racist laws because they have just as much racism or more racism in another state or in another section of the country.
How do you figure that Mississippi is the most racist state?
I didn't say that.
I'm gonna ask you that.
No, you gotta answer my question.
Wait. Okay, I will. For one thing, I'm about to answer. I don't think there is any difference between racism in the North, and if there's racism in the North, there's racism in the South. I'm not saying that there's no racism in the United States. That's dumb because I'm a racist. I'll be 100% honest with you. I said this before. I am racist, proud to be racist. It's okay because you know what? That just means I have discernment to think that someone's going to be against me at all times. I don't care if you white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, all that. I don't care about none of that, right? Because I don't trust nobody unless I know you pretty much majority of my life. And some of them I don't even trust. So let's be honest with that. But there's nothing different between Alabama and Mississippi. Am I right or wrong?
Well, there's some differences.
What's the difference?
Well, Mississippi is a poor state than Alabama. Most of Mississippi is a little bit more rural than a lot of. There's some more metropolitan parts of Alabama versus Mississippi. There are certain parts. Well, in the Delta, those places are highly, disparagingly black. However, there are places in Mississippi that have way higher population of so-called black people than in Alabama. Yeah, there's certain portions and places.
I'm saying wow to a comment being called a C word.
There's certain. Hold on, real quick. There's certain places and portions of Alabama that have a highly populated, highly concentrated number of so-called black people versus any other group of people. So that those would be some of the differences that I noticed as a person that lives in Alabama and did live on the coast in Mississippi.
Okay, now tell me the difference between Idaho.
I don't know anything about
and Mississippi.
Idaho.
No, why not? There's an abundance of white folks there.
I've never been to Idaho.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, there's an abundance of people that ain't black people that ain't there, and when they get there, they think everything they're going to be outnumbered just like everywhere else because there's so much of abundance of people in Idaho. I ain't gonna say Wisconsin. I'm gonna say Montana and those places like that where there's not many black folks. But if there is, let's say that there's not any, and nothing racist happens there, it's like insane.
But what's the point? You're like throwing a tangent.
Because
grenade.
I'm just everything about this whole thing.
Let me finish asking the question because you're throwing a tangent grenade in this conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with this conversation at all.
It does, because here's the problem. Everything from the start of this case and the start of the case with what that boy that was in Texas, what his name is?
Well, no, this don't have nothing to do with Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, so no, what I'm saying is both these cases, everything from the start of it was all about race.
Because
there's
of the
nothing
disrespect.
else. There's nothing else besides that. Anything could have been different besides race. That is it.
But at the same time, listen, that the level of logic that you're not using in this particular situation is astounding. You cannot say a situation where it's primarily white people and only one black person that there's no,
get with the one person.
hold on, let me finish. That there's no racial component to it. That's the point. So at the end of the day, do I believe I never asserted that I thought that hold on real quick. I never asserted that I thought that the Carmelo Anthony case was racial until it got into the court system, because I believe that it was a territorial issue. It was some kids trying to protect their territory, repping their school and repping where they were at, and didn't want another kid in their area. That's what I believe that it was about, right?
That's what you believe. But
right,
majority
hold on.
of people
Let me
said
just
what from the get-go.
Hold
That's
on,
all.
but not the majority. That there was a loud group of people that were making it about race. Everybody wasn't. The truth of the matter is this: we cannot ignore the daggone racial component to it when there is a large majority of white people involved and a small minority of black people involved. That would imply a racial component. Does it make it racist? No, it doesn't. But we can't act like, how could they possibly come to this conclusion? Oh my God, they're so slow. No, they're not. They just
The perpetual victimhood is ridiculous.
Not as perpetual victimhood to state the obvious. Okay.
Yes.
Well, okay, cool. So at the end of the day, here's your laws. And like they said, and a lot of these laws. Hold on, let me can I finish? Okay, and a lot of these laws are still on the books today. From testifying, and so what happens is legal codes explicitly barred black people, both enslaved and free, from testifying in court against a white person without a legal witness of equal racial standing. Prosecuting a white person for violence or deletion against a black victim was practically impossible. So, like other things, I have not just pulled this out the crack of my ass.
That was abolished.
I said, what is the law? What is the law? Competency laws and saying that's not telling me what the law is. What is the law? There's different laws and goddamn statutes and everything else. Don't just give me some Google search of what laws were on the book. Give me the law that's on the book now.
I'll get
that one. That was abolished.
I know. That's what I was going to say. This is crazy, man.
Hold on.
Playing once you don't do the.
If you, fam. So if you think for one moment that still doesn't exist, you are out of your rabbit ass mind. That's the problem. Let's just say the law. Let's just say the sentiment. Let's just say the idea. Let's just say the ideology. Let's just say the philosophy. Whatever way that you want to slice it up, whatever way you want to package it to make it palatable, let's go with that.
I just want you to admit that you were wrong.
I wasn't wrong. I was absolutely correct. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Obviously, you don't, because you didn't give me that law yet.
I'll get you the exact law.
Thank you. Give me the exact law.
Okay,
that said Virginia slave code law, right? Which that was abolished with the 13th Amendment in 1865.
And competency laws. Come on, man, stop it.
Actually, it was such as Ohio in 1807. The other one was the Virginia slave codes. That was 1723. That was the Virginia slave codes. But the competency and testimony laws of Ohio of 1807 is a different thing. But I will get those exact laws for you on the book and those exact statutes that will make Uncle Tom feel much better about it himself. Okay. So in the meantime, between time, well, listen, I live in the South, so that's the funny thing. Someone said, let me stay up north. I live in the South. I live in Alabama. Roll Tide. So I don't know what.
Okay, Roll Tide. Yeah. Okay, hey,
Roll Tide.
Don't let him. He a fake New Yorker, man. They only leave New York to come down the South so they can be with the cool people. I've said this. These New Yorkers get on my nerve. Him and Angry Man get on my nerve. They come down to the South because they couldn't make it in New York. That's what it was.
Okay, if you say so. If you say
I got nothing but New York hate. You know,
roll roll tide regardless. Roll tide regardless.
Baby.
Roll
Said
tide
Bama.
regardless.
You
All
might not
right,
be too
shout
far
out to
from one of my other
No,
residents.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I just hate this whole. I hate the racism talk. Right? It's something that needs to, because majority of y'all, literally, y'all more closer to these white folks than y'all actually give yourself credit for. Y'all dang near white.
Bro,
Y'all
I'm
dang near
not.
white.
Hold on, wait. See,
Y'all dang near
hold
white.
on,
Oh, man.
relax for a second. This framing that you're doing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I never was screaming racism. I'm
talking about
hold
everyone
on,
else.
but
I'm not
I
just
know,
talking
but
about you.
hold on, but there's a group of people that don't know me that's watching from Tom's side of the building. That
No, not
the
Tom.
way, hold on,
No.
that from Tom, meaning modern Renaissance man, he got the Uncle Tom hat on. Relax. There's a group of people that's watching from my man, modern Renaissance man's side that don't know me, that don't know that you're not talking about me. So again, allow me to clarify. Listen, I have a lot of white friends. I have no problem with any people, no matter what race they are, black, white, or candy stripe. I judge people for how they behave, how they act, and how they interact with me. That's how I judge people. I don't prejudge people because of their skin color. That means that they're going to do this or they're predisposed to do that, whether they be my skin color or a lighter hue. At the same time, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't understand how people come to the conclusions that they come to. I'm a very objective person. I see things from a balanced perspective, and I know that that's going to get a lot of heat and a lot of slack. But
Yes.
that nevertheless changes the fact that I understand things from both sides and can see both perspectives. Go ahead, Modern Renaissance.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, that's why, and that's something that should be what you just said and what we're doing right now. That should be something that people that are listening right now should have that same concept. But it shows in the comment section that people don't seem to have the mental capacity to do that, because next thing you know, we some coons up here. See what I'm saying?
I know I'm a coon. That's why I said coon.
We some
Jesus,
coons
baby.
up here, and I'm literally up here asking questions and trying to get to the bottom of the things like everybody else is. But the thing is, we used to this. You know, a lot of times when people don't have an intellectual rebuttal to what you're saying, the best thing they can resort to is
ad hominem
sad attempts at name calling.
Exactly.
Versus, you know, if I'm wrong about something, tell me where I'm wrong at. Versus, man, you just tap this coon up here. That's all you doing, just chucking and jiving. Sandboat, house Negro.
But modern Renaissance, man, most of this stuff is mostly based off feelings. And none of this stuff is based off any fact, because none of us have the absolute facts. I even looked up the whole rundown of the facts of the case right now, and everything that was said, even the timeline that people keep saying is absolutely wrong. We're just stating stuff that is not in the abundance of facts that's going on. And I've been listening. Don't mean I've been paying attention, because I hate this stuff. I was about to cuss. Boy, you got me catching myself over here.
Well, you can say that. You can say the S word. It's just not
I ain't gonna. Listen, if I can't say what I want, I'm gonna go ahead and censor myself all the way. But I just hate it, right? Because I'm a person that watches court cases from the beginning. It could be a 3-hour long court case. I watch it from start to end to find out what's been said wrong, what's not been said wrong, what sounds fake, what is fake, what evidence is being introduced, what's not being introduced. And we just don't. We as in everyone around here has introduced so much everything that wasn't in there to think you know something, but you don't.
But that's the point, and I couldn't agree with you more on that particular sentiment, and that was my sentiment from the beginning. At the same time, what I'm doing is I'm going according to Officer Tatum's interview with one of the guys that was actually there, Warren, one of the key guys that was actually there.
But you know he lying. Come on now.
But hold on,
he lying. That white boy lying.
Hold on,
he is white.
Hold on, but based on that interview, I'm asking questions to get an understanding. Now, one thing I can say, and I think y'all both would agree with me, and y'all could tell me if you don't, psychologically, with this level of scrutiny, with this level of microscope that's on these kids, regardless to the fact that they are guilty or they are innocent and they don't know nothing about what's going on, his answers are going to be curtailed to try to make himself and his friends look innocent, regardless. So there is a level of bias and a level of what do you call PR that's going on in his answers that would make his answers not 100% honest, because he's trying to protect himself and trying to protect his friend. And I can give you an extreme case in point in a moment if y'all before y'all. So I'll give y'all the case in point to substantiate what I just said in a moment. Go ahead. What do y'all think about that?
Well, I agree with you in certain ways, but I will say this. Who would you say that he's not saying that what he's saying is something that he believes that he knows is true? Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe all he did was get on the boat and disappear. Don't remember, take a nap and get up and go to sleep, or whatever the hell he said.
But that's not the perspective. That's not the perspective.
I don't know. What I'm saying is, I don't know for sure. But I'm saying, what if it is his perspective that what he's saying is the absolute truth? We can only say he's trying to make himself look innocent. Maybe he is innocent. Well, and for us to say, for us to be like, well, he's only saying that because he's underneath the microscope. That means no matter what he says, we gonna view him as wrong anyway.
Right, but that's why I said that. So that's psychologically a fact that the human mind finds ways to protect itself, whether it is guilty or innocent, when it knows that there's an extreme amount of criticism and scrutiny that is under. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna give you a case in point. So let's get to this real quick. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Shout out to Officer Tatum. Let's go. Let's get to this. Let's go.
We ate and napped for a little bit. It was a long day at the island, so we were all tired. And eventually we go over to a girlfriend of mine. She was having people over 4th of July. We were doing like fireworks and stuff. So we all went over there to swim and hang out. And I was
this infamous picture that I've seen online of Nolan in the water in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Where is this picture associated?
I got to go back a little bit more.
We planed off. We moved all the way to the front of the boat so we could plane off. And eventually we planed off. The boat was running.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, and I have a picture of that. She texted my buddy, and the next day everybody was panicking, and everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next. At least 5. Everyone that was on our boat right there, because the Palm Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and went home on the Palm Beach, and 3 guys on the way back. And Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and in with somebody else. We had multiple people in our group that rode out with us and rode in on someone else's boat. And that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do. A lot of people do that. I could name probably 50 people out there that day that ran out with somebody and ran back in with somebody else. So, it's not like it's an uncommon thing, but it's not like we just left him there or my friends just left him there. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island after my friends asked him multiple times and told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had texted somebody that she heard people yelling for Nolan to get on. Is that true?
And I have a picture of that. She texted my buddy, and the next day everybody was panicking and everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, this is the last time I saw him, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat. And she was right there to see that Nolan decided not to.
Yeah. And so you guys get in the boat, you start to get towed in and you make it back. Now explain how that you get to the point where you were concerned about Nolan, because obviously you said, hey, Nolan, y'all need to, or somebody, not
when
you,
did I get
but
to that point?
You guys had made mention Nolan need to get on a boat.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Yeah.
You guys get back to wherever you're going.
Right.
Explain that. Did you guys go back to somebody's house, or you guys like what happened there? And then when did you feel like?
My bad, y'all. It's a point where I was trying to get to. It's a point where he talks about his brother was in a fight. So give me 1 second. Bear with me. I thought it was back here. It's probably right around here where he talks about his brother was in a fight on the island.
It's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now.
Hold on.
When we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us, unless.
Go ahead. What are you saying? Go ahead.
I don't know if anyone of y'all from Florida. We do this almost every other weekend. Is where they go on Indian River, where a whole bunch of people go out on boats. There's a couple of little islands out there. There's families there. It's like it literally could be goddamn 400 to 500 people between the little 3 islands that are on Indian River and all that. And people go out and come in. All they want, you can even drive out there and then literally park you on the side of the highway, get out and walk to the little island out there, lines out there. So people do this all the time. So what he's saying about what he said, it's technically not wrong. A lot of people do that same thing. They go out on one boat and come in on another. So Yeah, I mean, if that's protecting himself, I can agree.
That wasn't the point. I was saying
I got
that I
you.
was
Yeah.
looking for. I was saying that I was looking for the portion where he talks about his brother being in a fight, and
Mhm.
then on that portion when he speaks about his brother being in a fight, you could tell that he was trying to defend his brother and not throw his brother under the bus. So little things like that. But I'll find that in a moment.
I know you
MRM,
good. Go ahead.
did you want to say anything about it before we move back to this video?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, even when you find the part about, like, which I know what you're talking about. I watched the whole thing with him doing it with his brother. I can see how it can come off of it as him being like, trying to defend his brother. At the same time, could it possibly be that that's just what happened? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Is
What's up?
would you defend Angry Man when y'all out there?
Right, but absolutely. That's
what I'm saying.
That's my point that I'm making. Whether they're guilty or they're innocent, it is not. It's not a matter of total truth at this point, because there is the self-preservation aspect of it, that he believes that people are perceiving him guilty and his friends and or family guilty. So he is answering from a frame, whether he did something or he didn't do something, that is to protect his image and the image of the people that are around him. So it cannot be completely honest. That's the point that I'm making.
So wait, so okay, for example, with that, I get what you're saying, but could it also be that they're just like, no, that's just what happened. There was no foul play, there was nothing to happen. So we just telling y'all nobody did anything. It just, because the perspective can be greater than reality. That's the way I look at perspective, and perception can be greater than reality, right? So if there was no foul play and there was some argument going on here and there, maybe that's just exactly what happened. Not saying that he also is not doing what you said either, is he, by trying to defend him. So like what Uncle Tom just said about you with Angry Man, he said you would do the same thing for Angry Man too, right? You said right, but I am a person to believe. I heard you talk, Izzy. I don't know you personally, like brother to brother type thing, but you don't seem like you would be the type to come off that will lie for Angry Man though. You like right. you like you're a truthful dude. Like, no, man, but if it was to lie, you don't seem like you the type. And I think Angry Man is the same way. Like, no, Izzy is my boy. Y'all got each other phone numbers. Y'all talk on a personal level. But I think Angry Man seemed like he's the type of man of a certain type of caliber that he'll go, no, Izzy is my dude. But if he did something, I'm not about to lie for him. I might say I'm not going to talk at all, but I'm not about to lie for him.
Right. And that's vice versa, right?
That's pretty much my statement.
Right. Yeah. But this is the thing. And that's why I wanted to play that particular section. That's not the case with Warren. Warren has said things in this particular interview and then immediately backtracked off of the things that he said and said something contradictory in the same sentence is the problem. And especially in regards to the timeline, if you really listen closely and you listen to what he said about seeing Katie with Nolan with his arms wrapped around Katie at 3:00, and then the time that they shipped off at 4:30, and the fact that his friend Wyatt was telling Nolan to come on because the boat is taking on water and they got to get out of there, then you would understand that that is a contradiction of terms. That's not those two things cannot be true at the same time. So there's different little details like that would indicate that something is not all the way right about what he's saying or his depiction of what actually happened.
How fast were they taking on water? Well, how fast was the water coming in? Because I mean, you can take on water and your boat don't sink for literally minutes, like 30, 40 minutes. You can scoop it out and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of ways to eliminate being taken on water where you're literally going to be sunk. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so no, they're saying they left at 4:30. So I don't know what y'all.
Okay.
They're saying they left at 4:30. So they said the last time. This is what they said. Again, I don't know what the details are.
I don't know either.
Okay, listen. I know what they said. They said that the last time, Warren said the last time we saw Nolan was 3:00. The last time I saw Nolan was 3:00. When we left, it was 4:30. So that's an hour and a half. So I don't know how they were taking on water and rushing Nolan to get on the boat to get out of there at 3:00 and then didn't leave until 4:30. I don't know how that's possible, but maybe boaters could tell me something different, because I don't know how that's possible.
Well, I get what you're saying, and you got a thing in there too where if like I don't have that now, I'm definitely going to be looking into it. Where I would want to look up the timeline from when he said, "Oh, we last saw Nolan at 3:00, and we left at 3:30 or 4:30, whatever the time may be." And then when did the Coast Guard call come in that they were taking on water?
A little bit after 4:30, like 4:35 or so.
Okay, so like, see, is it possible that I don't know. Is it possible that however much water they were taking on, and a little bit that was coming in there, did it get to the point to where they were taking on water, but the only reason why they called this time is because now it got to like it was kind of scary and critical, and that's why they called. It's all kind of questions in there.
Well, let's let him tell us, and then let's go from there. How about that? Let's go.
Just as many people there, if not more, than when we got there. I mean, probably around the same amount. I mean, it was crazy. Like there was a lot of people, and I mean, eventually Bart pulls us out. We left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out, and we had the towing strap pulled from, Bart's port side cleat or starboard side cleat, and he was on our starboard side bow. And so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned.
How did you find out that this boat is sinking?
Well, I walk back over, and like we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I pulled my brother off the beach, and I was just like, listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down. I mean, he was calm, but I looked out, I had a girl come up to me and say, hey, your brother just got in a fight. And obviously I have a younger brother, and that's what she was talking about. And I was freaked out. So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody.
I walked over, I ran over. Okay, two different things. Let's go. He corrected himself immediately. Let's
put my drink down and walked over there. And my brother was.
Then he went back to he walked over there. He didn't walk over there. He walked over there. No, I didn't walk over there. I ran over there. I beelined over there. Then he went to, I put my drink down and I walked over there. Maybe nervous, but again, it's not concise or honest, fully honest a testament to what happened. It is a psychological thing that's going on that he is trying to protect himself and protect his family and his friends, no matter if he's innocent or guilty. That happens both ways. It is honestly a fact. But let's get into it. Let's go.
Kind of angry, and there was a lot going on, but someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was.
Now I want you to put a note. He's talking about his brother. His brother was kind of angry. And there was a lot going on. But then listen to what he says about his brother after this, shortly after. Listen.
And my brother was like, oh, I just got in a fight. And this guy punched me in the face. And I punched him right back. And then went to the ground. And my brother put him in an armbar. And
was Nolan involved in any of this?
Absolutely not. When I was over there was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age. And I mean, Nolan, I never saw Nolan over there. Yeah. Absolutely not. And okay, sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
So you get ready to go. There's an issue with the boat.
Okay, yeah.
And this is what
this led up to that. That's what I'm saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, or the scuffle. I'm assuming that it was cleared up.
Right.
You got your brother out of that situation, and then how did you find out that this boat is sinking?
Well, I walk back over, and like we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I pulled my brother off the beach, and I was just like, listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down. I mean, he was calm, but I didn't want anything.
I told him to calm down. So he was mad, but then he wasn't mad. He was calm, but he wasn't calm. Like, yo, y'all gotta admit there's a lot of inconsistencies going on. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying it's a lot of
you like stretching that out. But you stretching, boy. You stretching hard, boy.
Yo, listen, just because you said loud, just because you said loud in the mic and you animated.
Sorry. My mic loud?
No, hold on. Just because you said loud in the mic and you animated with it does not negate the fact that he's saying one thing one time, a whole nother thing, and a whole nother thing, and contradicting himself within the same 5 seconds. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, that's a stretch, bro.
But it's a stretch.
What? I'm trying to no. I'm saying Izzy. What are you trying to get out of that though? What they got to do with Nolan?
What the point?
That's why I'm calling it a stretch.
Okay, hold on. The point that I'm saying, I'm not saying he's guilty of anything. What I am saying is that we have got to listen to what he's saying, and hold it in a frame and hold it in context, and then compare it to everything else, because we cannot just take his word for it, because what he is saying is doing his best to do PR and to make sure that he doesn't appear to be guilty. That's all I'm saying.
So if I say this, hey, so you know what? We got ready to leave, right? So my brother jumped on the boat, and I go back and say, yeah. So anyway, like I said, we got ready to leave. My brother hopped on the boat. Wait a minute. You said jump the first time. Now you're saying hop.
No, that's not the same. Not the same between saying my brother was angry and my brother was pissed. And then that's not what he said. See, obviously y'all don't listen that good, because what he said was my brother. Hold on, let me finish. What he said was my brother was angry, and he said, "Oh no, my brother was calm." I mean, I told my brother to calm down, but no, my brother was calm. So that's what he said, which is total opposites. It's not the same thing. So at the end of the day, y'all can try to scoff and try to make it seem like I'm making it something that it's not. But we're talking about what actually he said and going according to what he said, not according to how y'all feel and how y'all trying to shape it. Go ahead, Uncle Tom.
Was he there when the boy was ultimately deceased?
Was who there?
The guy talking, Warren.
Was
he? What I'm asking? Did he actually go on the boat, go home, and go to sleep?
That's what he said.
While Nolan was on the beach still. Is what I'm asking.
That's what he's saying. That's his assertion.
What I'm talking about. What about the timeline of the people that drug him back to the thing?
That's what he's saying. That's his assertion.
No. Okay. So, what about the people who told him in? Was it the Coast Guard who told him in?
I'm not sure. Coast Guard.
It should be a record of it. What I'm saying.
Yeah, they told them.
Even with GPS.
I think it was a record. I think it was a record.
Okay.
That told them, and it's like a record that told them.
So his.
Are you talking? Wait. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Are you talking about that towed the boat in that was taken on water?
Yes. His boat. The boat that was on.
No, it wasn't the Coast Guard. It was like a service.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm saying is there's actual record of it actually being taken from over there with him and everyone else on it, since they were taking on water and went in.
Yes.
Okay. So, in other words, he and whoever was on the boat with him when he left could not be a part of it.
That's not. Hold on, but that's not necessarily true.
I didn't even get to finish.
But go on, but that's a false statement that you're just making. Okay. That's false. Because if the body was laying down on the boat or in down on the deck, whatever they have, if the body was down there, there would be no way that anybody would have seen it, and then they could have got towed in and took it back out, because there's record of missing time between the time that they came to the island and they went back out. So there's a record of that.
Oh, so they went back. That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
they went back out. Okay.
Yes, they went back out. Yes. Yes.
Was he on the boat when there was no? What was his name? Warren. Was Warren on the boat when they went back out?
Allegedly, I'm not 1,000% sure about that. I'm not 1,000%, but the boat did go back out. The boat went back out. Yes, after it got towed in, the boat went back out after it got allegedly fixed. Go ahead.
Wait, they went back out to the island.
That's alleged. That they went back out, and it's missing time between the time. Let me just say it's missing time between the time that they got towed in, the boat got fixed, and they went back out to the island and then came back. So that's what the report.
Okay, check this out. Let's just say those young men that Brandon Tatum interviewed, that a lot of people think that Brandon Tatum is cooning for, or whatnot. If a lot of people, whether they're in this chat or whether they're on other panels, if they're finding all these inconsistencies and these lies in there, didn't Brandon Tatum literally just do everybody a service then? Because if this all going to play out in court, Brandon Tatum got the interview videos, and we all seen it right now that these dudes contradicted their stories or they lie. So now they caught up in some stuff, and now that can be kind of like reasonable. That can be like, hey, wait, this is a reasonable doubt that y'all did have something to do with it. Because if they are making this stuff up and they lying, and then here come the trials in court and everything like that, wouldn't Ben Crump be able to jump on all top of this? Like, this what y'all just told Officer Tatum, and which means that means
yes, but that's what I'm saying. I agree 1,000%. Again, I started off my stream by being very grateful for Officer Tatum one way or another for getting this interview. And I think it's awesome that he got this interview. I don't think it's necessarily smart of Warren to have done this interview, but I do think that it's awesome that Officer Tatum was able to get the interview. That's awesome. That's fantastic. It's wonderful.
So my thing is that if that's the case, that's a great thing that just happened. Because the thing is, if these boys are caught up and they contradicted themselves, and it's going to be something that can come back and bite them in the butt, thank God that some justice has been served, and Brandon Tatum was able to get this interview to catch them up on their lies, if they're lying. But at the same time, why would they do that if they had nothing to hide? So it's just questions. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, Modern Sons, man. Has anyone been charged with anything?
Nope.
So there's not going to be anything. Have they finished the investigation into this? Yes, no, maybe so. We don't know.
No, not as we know. No, not as we know.
So no one. No. Did the FBI get involved in any of this? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, this. I mean, dang. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna get besides what the police got, but maybe they'll get more information that people are gonna lie. I don't know.
So the thing is, though, is that is it?
I don't know what they're looking into.
Right. After all this is said and done, if they do their thorough investigation, we already got an independent person doing the autopsy and everything like that. If it comes back and there's no shadow of a doubt that this was like a accidental drowning, or he was if they find that there was actually, substance in Nolan Wells' system, whether it's fentanyl, whether it's coke, whether it's
we know it's alcohol.
If it's alcohol.
Hold on,
alcohol, I'm just saying, if it comes out and that's it, will they accept that, or is it still going to be no? Because y'all remember what happened in Mississippi when the person's found hanging. We know something happened. It's like it's not. To me, I feel like it's not going to be no winning. There's
but
no
hold on.
But
you can. If you ask me, that again, I said whatever the truth is, I'm good with it. Even if it's found that you know what I'm saying. Even if it's found that that it was a total accident. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the truth is, yo, BMU, if you could, you gotta cam up, bro. Shout out to BMU. Need everybody cam up. Man, is that if they're not allowed at the same time, trust me when I tell you, if it comes out that they all had something to do with it and they all kind of conspired and I will be blasting them on my channel and be hoping that every last one of them gets life in prison without the possibility of parole.
And I'm gonna be out here calling them all type of crackers and stuff.
That would be crazy.
I'm gonna be calling them all type of crackers and all kind of stuff like that, because I'm a racist. So even though I married a white woman, so
yeah, that's crazy. So there is, shout out to BMU, and BMU, there is a video that alleges, and I was gonna play this a little bit later. I got it. There's a video that alleges in the audio as they were calling for help to get towed in that they're that they were saying that, hey, Nolan is deceased. And is Nolan okay? Nolan is deceased. Nolan, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was girls in the background on that boat speaking. There's a video like that. Now, has that video been necessarily authenticated or shown to be actually factual? I cannot speak to that. But you know what I'm saying? There has been a video that has been presented with such a thing. Okay. So why is this doing that? Can y'all see me and hear me?
Yeah, we can see you.
I don't know why this is doing that. But okay, let me just see if I could present that. But go ahead, BMU, what say you, man?
I just want to real quick, man, before I get out. I wanted to what's up, everybody on the panel? What's going on, Modern Uncle Tom? I wanted to say, man, real quick, this reminds me, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, is it? This reminds me of the Kendrick Johnson situation.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
The young boy, the 16-year-old boy that was rolled up in the gym mat.
I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what happened was, after they did the investigation, the FBI came in, the DOJ took over. They found out that the dad of the son who was bullying this boy was an FBI agent. But the thing I want to call out was this: they questioned, just like Officer Tatum did. They went and questioned these white boys, and both of these brothers said, they asked them, did you see Kendrick Johnson today? In class today, the day he was murdered? They said, no, we didn't see him. We didn't see him that day. The FBI had camera footage after they went through all the paperwork. A filmmaker went back and watched the redacted film of the day and seen that these two boys was following Kendrick around the school the entire day, moments before he was deleted. And guess what? They didn't put it. They said they didn't see it. It wasn't in there, and they didn't drop this case. It's been 6 years, bro. And the DOJ said this boy's life was taken, not with no accident. They say this 16-year-old boy climbed on the top of a gym mat, went in head first, and it suffocated him. Bro, they got evidence that the young man, they took the man's body out the ground and showed where it was blunt force trauma to the head, to the chest. And they still 6 years later have not arrested nobody, bro. I think this shit may be the same way, man.
So
It may
okay,
be the
so
same way.
no doubt. So basically, in essence, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, BMU. I think that goes to what I was saying earlier, that when it comes to so-called black people get unalived, in a lot of these cases where it's white people involved or could possibly be involved, there is a lot of times where they make it into being a daggone self-deletion or something like that, instead of identifying that it is, foul play. I see you, Chanel. I see you.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Imagine this young man's mother is a judge. You in this county, you don't think the judge got connections to the chief? The chief got connections to the governor. You know what I'm saying? The mayor got connections to the governor, the chief, all of them, the coroner's office. They've been working together for years. And the thing about white people that I understand, white people keep record of everything. And I guarantee you, I'm not saying this is true, but I'm just saying if it were true, it would go a little something like this. That white judge would call the chief and say, hey, listen, my son was involved in this bullshit. Now, you remember 5 years ago when I had to take care of that situation for you? I need you to take care of this situation for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they operate. You remember when little Timmy was drunk and he ran over that kid out there off of 35? Okay, well, and I let him off when he was in my courtroom. I need you to cover this up for my son now. And I think that's what it is. I mean, in all these cases, I just mentioned Kendrick Johnson, same thing. The coroner, the chief of police, the FBI, all of them were in cahoots together, bro. And so I think that's what it is, Izzy. I think that, ain't no judge going to sit back and just let her son be taken away for any type of deleting of anybody. And my thing is this, the autopsy, when y'all going to release this autopsy?
They said
how much longer is it going to be before we know? Okay, right. How much longer is it going to be? They know, you know why? Because they know when they release that footage, people going to go nuts when they found out there's no water in the lungs of that child. They're going to go crazy when they find out there's no water in the lungs and he didn't drown. I'm telling you, bro. But when it come out, everybody going to have to go. That's why I'm saying people that's real heavy on, they nobody do this. They're going to have to go back and redo so much content, bro. When it come out, they're going to have to go back and say, hey, I got to go back and redo this content because I was wrong. Tatum, this could end his. If these boys are found that didn't hurt this boy or did something to this boy, his career is over.
I don't think so.
Why would it be? Why would it be what? But this is the thing. This is the thing. Hold on, real quick. You can't hear me talking, man. This is the thing. The thing of it is this. They said that the autopsy will not be, the first autopsy will not be released. They allegedly put it, and they said it's sealed. So
not at all.
That's what they said.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. That's what they said.
I think it's until the grand jury sees it or something.
Okay, but I don't know. But it's been sealed for right now. The first autopsy has been sealed. I don't know. Well, my suspicion is that there has. Yes, I suspect that there has been a foul play, and that they don't want to let it out early so that they could get their man or their woman and get whoever they're trying to get, and that's why I suspect. But I'm
now
not.
Check this out though. If, for example, what BMU just said about the judges and all that, and everybody being in cahoots and everything like that, and if this first investigation was done,
I'm not lying,
right?
You're not lying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How am I lying? They say I'm lying now too. I'm not lying. I'm telling you.
It said yes. The state's official initial autopsy results remain sealed until prosecutors Present the evidence to a grand jury. That's what it says.
Okay, so how am I lying? This is what I want to know. How am I lying? That's how people do it. Is he lying?
You just said they were sealed.
Right. So, but people are chatting, pointing in chat now. Is he lying too? What am I lying about? It's like ridiculous. People are ridiculous. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Oh, so what I was going to say is that when BMU just said that stuff about the judge, them and everybody in cahoots with each other like that, if that's the case, wouldn't you think that this judge would be like, you better not take your butt on Tatum's show and say nothing if it's a possibility that what they have in that autopsy? Because we just think, going off what BMU just said, which I understand where he's coming from, the judge didn't probably know the contents of that autopsy themselves. So if it's sealed, is it a possibility that all they're saying, oh, is it possible? I'm just saying, is it possible that she's like, hey, son, you can go in there and talk and say what you want to, because one, you innocent, and two, I already know what the results of that first autopsy is, because when it comes out the grand jury, you're going to find that there was seawater in his stomach, his lungs, and his,
But hold on real quick. How y'all gonna say that I did not cap? I said I did not know. I literally said I did not know. All I knew is that they were sealed. I literally said I don't know. So that's how y'all are wild people, that y'all be trying to put stuff on people that they didn't say. I said I don't know. I said all I know is that they said that they were sealed. I don't know how long they'll be sealed for. And then he looked it up, and then he told her, and Chanel was the one that said it first. I think it's until the grand jury. Then Uncle Tom looked it up and confirmed that fact. It's like, come on, y'all got to chill out. Y'all are wild people, man. Y'all chill. Dang,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, what's good? How you doing?
What's up,
I
Blanco?
wanted
What's
to
going on?
know. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
the autopsy is being sealed. It's like a normal thing that they do, because they need to preserve the integrity of the whole investigation, and they don't want to quote unquote poison the well.
Right, and that's why he asked me.
This is normal.
But Blanco, he asked me why, and I said exactly that. If I had to guess, if I had to suspect that it's because they don't want whoever they're trying to get away, or whatever the case may be, until all the facts come out. So I mean,
Because if they release the information now, the people that are gonna potentially might sit in the jury, the people that got a grand jury this thing now, they go there with a biased conscience. That's why.
They're already biased.
Well, yeah, that's what I was. They're already biased. Just like the same thing would happen when that other one, where the black so-called black people said they couldn't be unbiased. So I mean, we damned if we do, we damned if we don't. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just saying, leave the racial thing out of it and wait to the
You
rest
can't
of the
leave race
information.
out of it.
Oh, you can. You choose
You
not
can't.
to.
No, you
can't. You can't. That's what I'm saying.
It's like when white people say, I don't
literally
see
can. You just
color.
choose not to.
Hold on one second. It's like when white people say, I don't see color. We don't see color. We can leave color out of it. That's the same as someone like me saying, I can't see that my husband is a man. I absolutely can see that he's a man. I absolutely can see that he's different. And this idea that, oh, well, we can leave that out. No, we can't. That's like me leaving out that you're a man. I can't leave that out. That's who you are.
Mhm.
So to ask somebody, oh, well, we're just gonna leave out that he's white and they black, or they black and he white. That's ludicrous. Like, we have to stop the nonsense. That's
Well,
crazy.
now let me ask you a question.
It would be great if
Okay.
we could be colorblind, but nobody's colorblind. And all that statement means is, I don't see you as different. I see you as human, as me. That's what they really mean. But where it comes from is racism. It's just a fact. But I just wanted to ask this question because I haven't been listening the whole time. Have you guys heard the audio from
Yes,
the call?
I
And
have
y'all
it
heard
right.
what they were
Wait,
saying?
hold on. I have it
Oh,
right here. I haven't played it yet. I was
oh,
getting to it. I have it right here. I've
oh,
been
I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. I've been alluding to it for a long time. I was getting to it. I have it right here. But yeah, I do have it right here.
That
What?
audio is wild.
Let me
And
ask
you
you a
know what? I'll
question.
say this one last thing. The Tatum guy, the Coon guy, whatever his name is, the officer. I'm so grateful because listen, what you should do, regardless if you're in the court of law, in the police office, whatever it is use your Miranda rights. Shut the hell up because
Right.
everything you say can and will be used against you.
I
And
said
these
that earlier.
mofos are so confident. That's like, oh yeah, all we had to do is say he was going to, go meet with this girl, and we never saw him again. He wasn't on the boat with us, so whatever the case may be. And so we so confident we're gonna go talk to this guy whose most of his content is about hate, the distrust of black people or black men, specifically black women. We're gonna make a video with him, but we're gonna say there racism involved and we don't have no racism and blah 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 blah. But we're gonna choose the guy that to me is a version, is like a male version of Candace Owens to interview with. And I'm so happy that they wrap themselves in this timeline to say, oh, well, and I don't know if y'all caught the lies, because the one guy was like, Warren, I think is his name. He was like, well, the last time I laid eyes on Nolan, it was like
Already
3
pointed it
p.m.
out. Already pointed it out. Yep.
Oh, okay. And so, and
For the
I'm like, thank
4:30,
you
and
for
then
lining. I'm like,
right.
thank you for saying that, because now that we have this other audio, we know you lying.
Well, let me point this to you. He's not held to anything because what he didn't do was swear into whatever he said is true. So
He has to
nothing
fight
he's
against that though, doesn't he?
no, he doesn't
No,
He
because he
doesn't.
doesn't
it's
So
not.
swear.
they're
That's
not gonna bring.
No,
That's gonna be inadmissible in court that you just
he
told
It's
this
a
man on
huge
YouTube.
possibility.
well, if he
it's
doesn't say it on under oath, if he doesn't lie under oath, then
Well,
there's
no,
no way
I
they can hold
understand
him
that
accountable.
part, but I'm saying any attorney worth
they
their
can use
salt,
it, but it's not like
any
it's
prosecutor is gonna say, why would you say that? Why
How?
would you say the last time you saw him was at 3 p.m. and then you telling us at 4:30 that your
well.
other friend was yelling for him to get on the boat? It doesn't make any sense. You
One
Because
either
he
second.
said
last saw him at 3
he said
p.m.
I gotta
or
likely.
be.
you last saw him at
He's
4:30.
I got you.
he's giving
One mic.
approximates. What he was doing was giving approximates. He was like
An hour and a
something
half
like
approximate.
No, he didn't.
yeah.
Hold on,
Stop
Uncle
it.
Tom. That's
You
not
didn't
true.
say like in
Hold
there.
on.
You didn't
Uncle
say
Tom.
like in there.
No, he said
Oh,
the
okay.
last time that I saw Nolan was at 3:00. So that's not true
Oh,
what you're saying.
well, whatever.
I mean, I'm not saying you're lying, but that's just not true.
We're
So,
just going on
Okay.
based
so
on what
hold
he
on,
said.
real quick, Chanel.
I
Let me
didn't
ask you.
really know that.
Let me ask you a quick question. I'm gonna let Blanco get in here. Yo, MRM. Do you think that I'm pushing racism or racist rhetoric? Is that what you think?
You've never done that.
So I don't understand why people are trying I don't understand why people are accusing me.
It's
I'm the
derailment,
most
Izzy.
I'm the most objective person in this freaking space. I'm balanced and objective. I'm not choosing a side. I've asked the hard questions to people
I'm
who are
choosing one.
I've asked the hard questions to people who think that they absolutely are guilty. And I'm asking a hard question to people who think that they're absolutely not guilty. I'm being objective. Like y'all know nothing about objectivity. Y'all are just a bunch of parrots and
So that's what
idiots.
happens, though. You know, if the
Wait.
Izzy, when you do that, you get called a racist, and when we do it, we get called the coons. So, I mean,
Izzy and
welcome.
Chanel, y'all telling me that you can't leave race out of it. Let me ask y'all a simple question: is there good people and bad people in this goddamn world? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you have to be racist to delete a person?
No.
So
Why are you asking questions you know the answer to? Ask us a
because
serious
it's
question.
because y'all said you
Ask a
couldn't leave.
serious question.
Because you and him said you can't leave the race out of it just because they're different races. That makes no sense. You can literally
Do
leave the
you
race
not?
out of
Okay,
it.
so let me ask you this. Do you know that this country has a dark history with race?
Oh man.
Oh.
But you want us to throw it
Talking
out?
it off.
Like, let's not do that.
So in other words, there's nothing that you can do without leaving race
I
out
didn't
of it.
say
So
another one. No,
well,
you're saying
obviously you
that.
can't. You said why are you
You're
asking me
saying
a dumb
that.
question about something about their dark
No.
past? Tell
No,
me
what
what
I'm
country.
saying
Hold
to
on,
you is
wait.
this.
Tell
Go
me
ahead.
what country don't have a dark past with racism.
Every country where there's a different hue, there's a history of racism.
Even in
within,
Africa,
even hold on, pause.
even in
Pause.
Africa.
Even within, right.
Because right now,
Even
them
within,
Asians over there beating the
let
dog
me
crap
just say
out of
this.
out of
Even
Africans.
within your own, even within your, like, I know Spanish people. I have Spanish people in my family. Even within their culture, hold on. Even within their culture, they got the light, bright, close to white. My husband's mother is light, bright, close to white with the long hair and all of that. And
So
her
we're Brandon.
son,
So it's colorism, not racism.
hold on, pause. And her son is my color, which is dark brown. So, but my point is, when you have the spectrum of colors in inside of a race of people, and you have a dark history with this specifically in this country, we can't leave it out. It's why we have something in my opinion in the Black community called a collective unconsciousness. When we hear
Oh
about
wow.
police, hold on, let me just finish and then you can fight my argument. When
I
we
know.
hear
I just
about
said, oh
people,
wow.
okay,
I was
when we
shocked.
hear about people saying things like, you know what, police brutality, something's gonna populate in your head. I can promise you it's not police beating up white men in the street or white women in the street. I can promise you that's not what's populating in your head. And so this
Absolutely.
idea, this fallacy that you want us to believe that we can't include race is ludicrous.
They beat more white people than they'd ever beat
I
black
didn't say
people.
that. I didn't ask you that. I'm
So,
talking about the
in my
collective.
mind,
So wait.
don't say
I'm
me what
talking
in my
about the
mind it would.
collective.
Does
Okay.
that depend on you who you're asking?
Yeah, because you
I'm
needs
talking
to.
about.
Because if you ask white people that, they might think of only white
Okay, well,
people.
let me finish, and then you could attack my argument. I'm
Wait, but
saying it, with the exception of people like you guys who clearly don't
Oh
see
wow.
race.
Okay.
With the exception of you guys, but if you did a focus group and you asked brown people collectively, when you think about police brutality, they're
Mm.
not thinking about a whole bunch of white women getting beat over the head. They not. I don't think
Mm.
that's what populates in their head. I think what populates in the majority of black people's head, and I don't like to speak in generalities, but I'm just saying, in my opinion,
Mm.
what they would think about, what would populate in their head, is police beating on a black person, specifically a black man. That's all
Mm.
I'm saying.
give
Because
me.
we have a complicated history with race in this country. And so when we want to try to
It's not complicated at
when
all.
all
Wait,
right,
hold on.
well,
That's not. Hold on, real quick. Give me a second. Shout out to Zone 864 TV. Salute to you, family. He said Officer Tatum didn't take the interview on his own. He was paid by the stepmother judge to do the interview.
was he?
Allegedly. That's alleged because I don't have no substantiation of that. And they're gonna say, "Yo, Izzy lied," even though I didn't say it. I just read it. So allegedly, up until the point that's substantiated, and I'm not saying it. That's his attestment. Shout out to Zone. Listen, if you want your comments highlighted in red, instead of being mad at me, do so through the super chat or through the Cash App. That's everybody. There's a lot of comments, a lot of strong opinions up here on the panel, a dope discussion going on. And we're actually reviewing a video. So if you don't mind, if you want your comments highlighted in red, do so through the super chat or through the Cash App, as well as just hit the like button because this is a very dope discussion. Listen, I don't mind discussing things with people of different perspectives and point of view. I actually prefer it. It makes for an interesting conversation. At the same time, I don't like when people try to typecast me or put me in another perspective than what I am, as I'm sure MRM has been expressing as well. And I'm sure Uncle Tom, he don't care because he likes being polarizing.
That's
However,
a fact. That's a fact.
he does. That's a fact. That's one thing I know about him. But however, I think that we need to do a better job of separating ideas and thoughts from who people are, or typecasting them into one perspective or another. So if y'all would just enjoy the conversation, y'all more than welcome to join. But the best way is to either come up here and or do your commentary through the super chat through the Cash App. All right, I appreciate y'all. Y'all got it.
Can I get an answer to my question? What country don't have a dark past with racism? Please.
Well, I would have to know every country on the planet to be able
You
to
don't
answer
know
that
every country.
question. And since I don't know every country on
It's
the planet, I
196.
can't identify that. But I can say I live in the United States of America, and this country, which is the country that this unfortunate, tragic situation happened in, we can speak about that, but we can't speak about all countries because we don't know all countries. And we definitely don't know. And we definitely don't know all of their countries' demographics. So I need you to stop.
we really
The
do.
whole hole that you're trying to put me in is never going to happen. I'm too smart.
Well,
for
you're
that.
putting yourself in that hole. That had
I'm
nothing to do
not.
with me.
I'm not. You want to talk about
Because
everybody
you
except what's
said
happening in
you
what
said
happened
like
in
this is
Mississippi. We're not talking about what happened in
let me
45 other
inform you
countries.
of something.
I
Slavery
don't need
here
you
in
to inform
America
me.
is not okay.
I
Well,
don't need you to
I'm
inform
going
me.
to the audience then.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Slavery here in America was not
We're not
nothing
talking about slavery.
new.
Wait, hold on. Let him
Dark
finish.
racism here in America is not new. It happens everywhere. And it happened for eons. It's not new to America just because there are different people that came from a so-said racist place. Oh, you almost got me to cussing. Racist place over here to do racism on their own people first, and then collectively do it to other people that they owned. How can you be racist to somebody you own?
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with Mississippi? And what does it have to do with
me
Nolan
owning a
Wells?
pig and saying, "Oh, now I'm a humanist because it's a pig and I can eat it today."
What does it have to do with Nolan Wells?
Wait, what? Wait, what? That's wild. Wait, what?
Meaning I won't kill a human, but
I know what you're talking about, but
yeah, because
Wait, what?
What?
Excuse me, what?
Like I said, it's something. It's
Stop
something
it,
that
bro.
you own. You can't be racist to something you
Bro,
own.
come on. You talking about people owning people, and then you saying that
Absolutely,
you.
it happened
But
everywhere.
Why are you
okay,
trying to
but then
It
derail
you
the
said
happened
that. Hold on.
show?
everywhere. Stop
Time
acting
out.
like this
Time
new
out.
here.
No one's. That's two different points, and this is the ridiculous. Again, your logic ain't logicking.
It
and
is
then
logic.
Hold on, no,
Let 'em
and then
know.
they're gonna hold on, and then they're gonna get mad at me because I point out the fallacy of your logic.
Where's the fallacy?
I'm telling you, because people own people and people
Mhm.
have historically owned people all over the face of the globe, that does not say that there's non-existence of racism. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
I didn't say there was
Exactly.
no. I didn't say there was
but hold on.
non-existence.
Time out.
Well, that's what you're putting on me, and I didn't say that.
What you literally said was how you said that your implication was if the people own people, and that has gone on throughout the history of the world, then how can they say that that's racist? It's
That's
like
not what I
saying,
said.
boy, you
That's not what I
literally
said.
gave the hold on.
I'm
Didn't
gonna
you-
tell you exactly
hold
what
on.
I said. I said,
Oh
how can you
my
be
God.
racist to something that you own? That's
That's
what
the
I
same
said.
shit.
But
That's
that's
the
not saying that there's no
Yo, man,
racism.
I gotta mute you. Are you serious? Yo, fam. Literally, it's like saying you ain't tricking if you got it. It's a stupid idiom, dummy. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's literally It's literally the definition of what tricking is. It's literally the definition of what racism is. When you use your race or you use your power inherited by race to lord over other people. What are you talking about? It's ridiculous. And then I get to be the person that's, oh, Izzy is racist or Izzy is this or Izzy is that. Because you say this thing is ridiculous what you're saying. It's just not true. And it's asinine. Come on, man. Let's be honest. Can we just be honest? That's like a dumbass statement.
You got your emotions out now?
No, you got your
idiocracy
out now.
No, because it's true. You just mad because it's true. It's a truthful statement, and you don't like it because it's true. Listen,
it's a dumbass statement. It's
so
not
what?
true at all.
It is absolutely true. It's
How is
absolutely
it true?
true.
How is it true that you can't be racist to something that you own? How? And you're talking about people. How is that true?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You own a house, right? You got a house you own, right? Let's answer.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
You're out your mind.
Let me ask you, because you see, stop playing the thing. I see you. I understand you're emotional, right?
You
But
don't have your
take your
logic
emotions out.
is not logicking.
Take your emotions out, right? Because what I said, and I'm gonna say it again, no matter what, you were property to something, meaning you were nothing more than a mop. Or
Okay,
you were
so-
nothing
so
more
are
than
you
a
saying-
garden tool.
So what?
No
No,
matter
I
how much
wasn't.
I owed you, you can't be racist to something you own.
Yo,
that's not
get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told.
I need you to stop for a second. So, in order for your logic to be logical,
okay,
then that would have to mean that I am an inanimate object. I'm a mop. I'm a house. I'm a car. I'm a rock. I'm a tree. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not a tree because trees are living, but
sir,
I'm a
never,
okay,
you
hold
never
on,
been,
stop.
never been
Stop for a
owned by
second.
anything.
Stop for a second.
Yeah,
Stop for a second. Your logic, like that's just a stupid ass statement. Bottom line, at the end of the day, you're talking about people that necessarily were so-called property to other people, but that did not change their humanity and the fact that they were people. So because they were people, and because this group of people use that group of people's ethnicity in order to hold them captive and in order to enslave them, then that is literally the definition of what racism is, sir. Like, you got to stop. You got to stop the cat.
Okay. So of the 3,000 slave owners that were black that owned white slaves, were they racist too?
Yep. Absolutely,
Okay.
without question.
All right, cool. All right,
without
good.
question, they were.
So everyone. So again, do they have a dark past in this United States of owning white people?
Absolutely, without
and
question.
Black folks that they enslaved out here, the thousands of blacks.
Absolutely,
okay,
without
so do we
question.
hold? So why aren't we holding black people and white people to the same standard then?
Yo, bro. Are you?
Let's do
it. Wait.
Yo,
wait.
hold on.
Wait. Hey, I was literally getting ready to say this. if Uncle Tom basically asked the question that I just got done, I was literally going to ask the same question like that. Is that are we holding this all to the same standard? Because if it's black doing it to black, will we say it's racist? But if it's white doing it to black, will we say it's racist? If it's blacks doing it to whites, would we say it's racist?
Yeah. So, okay. If we're talking, we have to be talking about a specific group of people at a specific time to identify whether that group of people were the ones that were making the laws, rules, and dictating at that particular. For example, if you talk about in Spain in the 800s, then of course those particular Moors, black Moors, were racist because they were literally making the rules and the regulations that were in favor of them as the black Moors in Spain versus the European white Spaniards.
Izzy, I'm talking about the United States, man.
Yo, I'm
going to Spain.
I'm giving an example. You nigga, you gave a goddamn example of a freaking mop in a damn house. So I need you to shut your stupid ass mouth up. I need you to shut your stupid ass mouth up. I need you to shut up. You said a god doggone mop in a damn house. So shut up. Who you
were
talking
property.
To?
You
Oh,
were property.
you were property. So shut up, property. God doggone mop. Shut up.
It was
and
true.
mop something up, mop. What are you talking about?
You were the best garden tool.
No. When you were talking, I let you talk that idiocracy, and then I dispelled your idiocracy.
You didn't dispel anything.
After you finished. Hush up, silly woman. Hush up. God doggone it. Hush. Because like what you're saying is not even logically sound.
Easy, you whined. That's what you did.
What you said is not even logically sound. I'm about to put the bounty back up because
hey,
I'm about to get paid off of you because I can't take it.
Izzy, hold on one
hey,
thing.
No. Hold on. No. The problem is this. I don't even have to go to Spain. The thing to answer your question, MRM, is simply this. Again, whoever's in charge at the time, and if they're using particular policies, laws, rules that are predicated upon their race in order to impose upon another people, that is literally what the definition of racism is.
So Anthony Johnson started it all then.
No, it's not.
Wait.
That's not the definition.
Wait. I'm just saying Anthony Johnson was the first person to legally own a slave, and he's black, and that slave was black. So we can say that he's the one that institutionalized slavery legally
in America.
In America, it would be, but obviously in the history of the world, he was slave owners a long time, bro.
Why are we talking about slave owners? I thought we were talking about Nolan.
Yeah.
Right.
What are we doing? Y'all like to derail.
He's derailing. Yeah, he's derailing. But this is
like
that's Tom. Tom was talking about slavery. I never brought slavery.
Because they want to try to minimize it and all of that. It's just like stay on topic.
Yeah, he called
the leader.
He called God on the houses. Like,
I mean,
Uncle Tom, he like half Chinese anyway, so.
You're a mop. You're an ancient mop.
Listen, let me say this before I'll shut up. I swear to God, I'll shut up after this. Izzy, I'm gonna have to break this to you. Black people were garden tools. They picked cotton. They literally were gardening tools.
So let me ask you a question. So, okay, so
ears, but
no, it doesn't. So let me ask you a question. So you're saying that all so-called black people in the Americas were so-called slaves?
No.
Okay, then shut up. Then shut your mouth up. Shut up.
Well, white folks were slaves too. So
yes. So they were.
And black people were slave owners. They made a law so black people can't own white slaves anymore.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Okay, but the point is, again,
man. All I'm saying is hold them all to the same standard. What you are so afraid to do.
It's not. Again,
you're scared.
The problem is there's rules for people of my hue and my skin tone that are not for people of lighter hues and lighter skin tones. And that is what the issue and the problem is. We just got to be honest. We got to be perfectly honest. Like, at the end of the day, there are people in this country that get away with things because of their skin tone and their complexion for protection. And then there are other people that don't.
White, right?
No. Uh-oh. No. Now listen, what I would say is this. When it is white on white crime, generally speaking, it does come down to finances and it comes down to who you know and in ties as far as power or whatever the case may be. A lot of times, unfortunately, like BMU pointed out, when it comes to so-called black people and white people, a lot of times it comes down to race. And that's unfortunate, but that's just what it is in America. I don't understand why y'all want to try to hold your head in the sand and try to pretend like someone's making something up when we're not.
No, I'm not refuting that at all.
Okay, that's my only point.
Right. What I'm talking about is like, I'm serious. This when Uncle Tom asked though, that's a legit question right there. I would like to know how come they don't get the same exact type of smoke.
Who? And I was trying to answer, but who exactly are you speaking of?
Okay, so for like in this particular case with Nolan, would we be the same exact way about Nolan if it was all black folks out there and this happened?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, hold on. I'm telling you, hold on real quick. As a matter of fact, I'm of the firm belief that if it's 3 black boys and their white friend ended up missing, that those
no. I said black. Yes. If everybody on that island was black and Nolan Wells drowned and it was all black friends, will we have this same exact type of exposure? And would it be in the news like this? Would we be, hey, we want to find out what happened?
Yes. So yes, and then this is the thing. And I'll further it. If there were 3 black boys and their white friend ended up missing and didn't come back with them, those black boys would have been incarcerated and held until somebody admitted what happened, whether it happened or not. Someone would have had to snitch, and it would have had to come out who did it. Otherwise, them boys would have still been held, and they would have had high bails in order to get out. Now, someone tell me I'm lying about that. Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
No way. You're lying.
You're lying. Okay, go ahead and prove it. They'd have been under the jail.
Okay, you go ahead.
Exactly, they'd have been under the jail. Exactly.
Stop it.
Oh,
stop it. There's so much black on black stuff that didn't happen that no one ever get charged for. We ain't even gonna talk about the unsolved thing. Murders that's been going on around this country. Deletions in this country. Stop it, Izzy.
I said if it was 3 black kids and their white friend ended up missing, would not they hold those 3 black kids until someone admitted what happened to that white kid? And the answer is
never know.
Yes.
You will never know.
You gotta give an example.
You never know because it never happened because white people are so smart that they don't want to be around 3 blacks. They got a prescription from their doctor that said they can only be around 2 blacks at a time.
Okay, well then you answered your own question. So with the silly anecdotal. So let me just say this. And forgive me, friend. I probably should ask you before I release this, but I have a friend, and much love in my heart goes out to her and her family, whose son was accused of deleting a white man. And he's currently still in jail to this day and has not gone to trial. And it's been shown that he was somewhere totally different than where this white man was at. But because in this place in Alabama, they want to determine this kid to have deleted this white man, he is still in jail to this day. And this shit happened over 5 months ago. That's how I know for a fact that if the roles were reversed, it would have been what it is. And time again has shown it and told it. What are we talking about?
That had nothing to do with anything.
Okay, the Central Park 5 is another doggone great
Park
example.
5 literally
did another great example.
They literally did it to themselves. No one told them to goddamn.
There was kids. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick, and let me finish my statement before you just start jumping in. The Central Park 5 is another great example of how they would have held them kids. Is what I'm saying. I'm not talking about how they would have held them kids until somebody doggone admitted to a crime, whether they committed it or not, whether it was accurate or not.
Listen to their uncle. They listened to their uncle. That's what happened. That was the problem there. Let's be honest. If you want to be honest, they uncle told him to goddamn confess to that.
Okay, so again, the point of the
Are
matter
you
was,
angry?
hold on real quick, Chanel. The point of the matter was they would hold those kids until somebody admits to something or somebody tells something substantial. Whereas in this case, they didn't even arrest anybody at all, and they barely held a god doggone investigation. That's my only point. It is a disparity. It does exist, and it's real. It's not imagined. It's not pretend. It's not something that we're making up. That's
If
it.
this was to me, and the reason why I asked the question that I asked was this. Y'all can disagree. This is arguable, but I think a lot of people respond to certain stories because you were told to respond to a certain story. Like right now, I've
Oh my
shown videos
God.
across,
Hold on. Let
I'm
him
sorry.
finish. Let him
I
finish.
show videos across the internet world of a little 7-year-old girl being lynched. That's how I put my title up there. She was lynched for 7 minutes. A 7-year-old girl, right?
Mhm.
When I showed who did it to her, all of a sudden nobody had nothing to say. It was quiet. Up here in Chicago, Kanika Jenkins, her body was found in a freeze. I don't know if y'all know about that story.
Yes.
Crazy mysterious.
It was
all-
Manny. It was Manny, the Hispanic security guard that did that to her.
I was all over that, dude. I was all over that story like crazy, right?
Mhm.
But it was being suppressed heavily. So the point I'm saying is this: it seems to me that a lot of stuff that gets out there is because of the things that you are being told and psychologically psyops possibly to be mad about and pissed about. You would be mad and pissed about. Because honestly, if this was black people all on that island and a black dude was left and he drowned, whatever like that, it'd just be an incident and we're gonna be moving on with life. It wouldn't be getting this much.
Why do we have to do the whataboutisms of it all? This is not a all
We
lives
literally just
matters
did it a minute
moment.
ago when
That's
y'all
not
said
what this
if it
is.
was a black
We're
dude,
talking about what happened in
Izzy
this
literally just
case.
got done saying if there was a black dude out there
I
with
have
one
a
white dude,
question.
why come you didn't throw the what
I
about
have a
this with
question.
that?
Why do we need to focus and try to change the topic
Oh,
and
now we're
derail?
going,
Let's talk
okay, so
about what's being
okay.
talked about and what's being. It's like these people that are like fake outrage. Well, if you're gonna boycott Target, you need to boycott Walmart, boycott. Nobody's ever successfully boycotted 15 different things at once. So let's stop with the nonsense. What we're talking about is Nolan Wells and what happened in this case. Let's stop trying to put out. Okay, well, all the other 5,000 black people that died today. Let's talk about them too. We're not talking about 5,000 other black people. We're talking about Nolan. So follow the
Why?
leader and
Why?
stay focused.
Wait,
Period.
why?
Because
Wait,
that's
why?
what we're talking about. That's what the
Wait,
discussion is about. What are you talking
right.
about?
Which is the question that I said. I said,
Okay. So for
why?
example, if I have a conference and I say, let's talk about breast cancer, I don't need the people from the Lung Cancer Association to come over into the Breast Cancer Association and be like, well, do you know how many people die of lung cancer too? We're not talking about lung cancer. We're talking about breast cancer. That's why. Focus.
So my point again is, why are we focusing on the story
I
of
just
Nolan versus
told
the
you
other ones that
why.
have
Why are you
happened?
asking the same question again?
You didn't answer.
I just told you why. Because we're not talking about every other case. We're talking
But
about this
the thing,
case. Can you follow the
Chanel,
leader? We're talking about Nolan Wells. Let's discuss Nolan Wells. We're not talking about every other black person that died, all the other black people that will die at the hands of other
Yeah.
black people. That's not the discussion. We're talking about this.
the thing,
So
Chanel, is that people got to do the what about ism is because that's how detectives resolve the cases anyway.
thank
What
you.
about if that's exactly what they do with the people do the what about ism? Like literally, that's how they resolve cases. They
What
got
I'm
to think
saying to
outside the
you, what
box.
I'm saying to you is this. I understand that anybody could take any one case study and say, well, let's talk about all the other times that this happened. But whenever you're prosecuting a case, do you think the prosecution is standing up there talking about the 5,000 other things that happened in life, the 5,000
Yes,
other
that's
people?
what they do. They would
I'm
literally
That's
pull
not
up a
finished with my
exactly how
they
they
would
question.
literally pull up and
expose.
I'm
say
not
Johnson
finished
versus
with
One
my
second.
question.
One second,
Jesus
y'all.
Christ.
One second. Let her finish asking the question.
God.
Make it brief, Chanel, and ask
All
the
I'm saying
question
is
and let them
you're
answer.
only going to prosecute one case at a time. And this idea that y'all want us to prosecute 5,000 at a time is crazy. That's it.
So
Okay.
what I was going to say, when they go to court, they will say, in the case of Johnson versus such and such, this right there, nope, can't do that. What about ism? Stop.
They
When they're
do.
talking about
Wait.
setting
Hold on,
on.
Chanel.
When they're
Hold on,
talking
Chanel.
about
Hold on,
setting a
Chanel.
precedence,
Hold on,
then
Chanel. Yes,
yes.
they do refer to other cases in
When they're
order.
talking about
Hold
a
on.
precedence, they're
Yes, in
not
order. Hold
referring to
on, Chanel.
5,000.
Hold on, Chanel. They do refer
Okay.
to other cases that are similar to this case that have set a precedent in order to substantiate whatever the charges are or whatever that they're bringing about in that particular case. That's literally what they do.
Mr.
So
Izzy, I
we
understand that. I
literally
understand that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I know that there's something called precedence when they
right.
want to say, okay, in this other case, then if you're going to take that in consideration, you have to take this in consideration too. What I'm saying is when they go into the courtroom, they're not going to litigate 5,000 other. They're not even going to litigate 500 other.
Right.
They might say 5 or 6 or 10 or something like that to show precedence. But what these people are trying to do is they're trying to use all of history, all of the deaths that happened in the past 5 years to talk about Nolan Wells. And all I'm saying is, let's just be honest about it. Let's
Who did
focus
that?
on what's happening right now in this case.
All
That's
right,
all
Who
I'm saying.
did that?
Who did that?
give me
Okay,
a
y'all
second.
didn't do it. Y'all want to act ignorant? Go right
All
ahead.
right, give me a
We
second. Hey,
didn't do it.
Beachy. Hey, Beachy. How you doing, Beachy? Hey, give me a second. Let me introduce this. So again, let me just say for the ignorant people in the back that want to blame me, I didn't make this. I didn't doctor it. I didn't invent this. This is allegedly an enhanced audio of the actual call that Warren made or Wyatt, whichever one of them, made to the people who told on them. This is an actual, this is allegedly the enhanced, meaning that they made it louder so that you can hear everything that's going on. So in case you haven't heard this, let me bring this to the forefront. I have not substantiated this, to be honest, and I generally don't like to bring this to the forefront. However, this has been referred to multiple times, and I've had this in the cut since it came out. So let me play this. Let's
Hey,
go.
Izzy, before you play
Yes.
it, would that mean it was doctored?
In
Oh,
a sense, to raise the volume up, technically yes.
Okay, I thought.
I mean,
but
just
um,
doctor doesn't mean altered.
most of those audio that you've been listening about this case are fake. It's only like one that is real, the one that coming from the town and people, whatever you call them.
yeah,
That
this is
one is
that.
real.
The
And
CETO,
then
that's what this is.
That's what this is.
what social media have done is have grabbed those things and put the AI thing in it and make it exaggerated for clicks and views.
All right, where'd you get that? Where's your substantiation of that?
Right.
I was watching last night on this YouTube channel when I was trying to get educated about the channel. A lot of the audience that were listening about this is fake.
Okay, where I need you to show me or to show me substantiation of that particular the claim. Because let me just play this and then we'll just go for it. All right. So again,
Can I just say this one thing before you play,
hold
Izzy?
on. Go ahead,
Okay.
because we're not.
I only was gonna say that what you were saying is unsubstantiated at this point, but just because it's unsubstantiated doesn't mean that it's false or fake or anything. He just doesn't have solid proof, but you don't have proof that it's not. That's
All
it.
right. So let me just say this again. This is allegedly the audio. I don't know if this is actually from the thing. This is alleged. All I could do is show, and then y'all come to what conclusion y'all want to, and tell me what you want to hear. Now, what I will say is this: they tried to say that the audio of the boat when them kids was fighting was fake, but come to find out that was not fake. That actually happened. Now, whether that was Nolan Wells involved in that or not has been questioned because some other people said that it was them involved, but that has absolutely been brought to the forefront that wasn't fake. So let's play this and let's see, and then let's go from there. It's part of the discussion. Fair use, fair use, fair use. All right.
Listen, so as you may or may not know, TMZ put out the 911 call, right? And there are people enhancing this audio from the 911.
So allegedly, this is from the TMZ 911, call, whatever you call CETO call.
911 call where they called in. Now, there is a girl on this boat. I'm going to play this enhanced audio for you. You can also go to TMZ page, download it yourself, and enhance it because I turned up the volume.
So I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. What she's claiming is that you could take the TMZ version of the video and you could enhance the volume on the TMZ version of videos. What she's saying she did, I have no way to substantiate that. And she's saying that if you do that, you could get the same results. So let's see. And then I'm playing it from my phone because I can't, for whatever reason, my Wi-Fi is acting up and it's not allowing me to airdrop it to my computer. So that's why.
Cheap Wi-Fi, buddy.
TMZ,
Yeah, okay.
you could drop it into your iMovie and turn the
Panel
volume all the
phone.
way up. The girl says,
Which one?
that,
Which phone? I got 3 sitting right next to
she
me.
says, is he dead? And then somebody calls his name out, right? Then as you fast forward, the 911 person is talking to the person who called in. The person who called in is 100% distracted, can barely call.
All right, so she's saying, can y'all hear that good? She's saying the
Yeah.
person that called in is 100% distracted. And in which we heard that, right? It seemed as if there was a lot going on. And of course, if the billage pump is going out, that would substantiate why there's a lot going on. But let's just see and see what's going on. All right. Oh, my damn.
If my boat was sinking,
Okay, hold on.
and on a 911 call, but he's clearly distracted. So she asked him, she says, how high up is the water in the boat, right? And if you listen, you can hear somebody in the back say, Nolan's freaking dead, dude.
All right.
This is on the 911 call.
So now she's claiming, this woman is claiming that on the TMZ video, she pulled the TMZ video on the CTO call, she enhanced that volume, and she got Nolan is dead. This is what she's claiming. Again, I have no way to substantiate that. I am not substantiating what she's saying. I'm just reporting it to you. Let's get it.
So hold on.
Somebody,
Okay.
Why not? Why don't you go to the TNC site and do it yourself then?
Because you could do it if you like. I don't want to do that right now. I could just told you that my daggone Wi-Fi is not allowing me to
No. You're missing what I'm saying. Well,
Now I
can you
understand
bring out TNC over here in the panel and to see if we can catch it from the TNC straight from the TNC site?
You're gonna no, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're gonna have to do is what she's saying. You're gonna have to take that video, extract the audio, and then raise the volume of the audio so you can hear the background noise as well. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. All right.
who know how to enhance audio and take voices out. If you go enhance that audio, take that 911 operator voice out and enhance that audio, that is everything they need right there on that call. And who is the girl on the boat? Girl or girls? It sounds like it's 2 girls on the boat to me. Listen to this audio.
If you listen closely, you can hear them say Nolan is about to die at 16 seconds.
16 seconds.
Yeah, listen.
So assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Corn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
Official. All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles.
So I don't know if you heard it, but in the beginning, what she's saying about the 16-second mark of that CTO call, you can hear a girl saying, "Is Nolan? Is he dead?" And they said Nolan, and then you know what I'm saying. Someone said after that, Nolan is dead, allegedly. So that's the alleged part, but you can hear it in the underpinnings of the conversation. So
she said 16 seconds though.
Yeah, at about the 16-second mark of that CTO call. Yeah, that's what she's saying. Okay. So
that was wild. That's why I should stay alleged, because that just don't make no sense. Hey, if y'all say it's allegedly true, okay, all right, it's allegedly true. Now what?
I'm not saying. Listen, again, I'm saying that they're saying that allegedly happened.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that you making any kind of claim. I'm saying, but now what? Well, after they have that, now what? Everything was given to the. You don't think it was given to the police if that was true? You don't think the police have that?
Well, I guess now
And
they
even
do.
if the police did have that, right? This is to say that they did have it, right? How are they supposed to know who was all on that call?
I guess that's what an investigation would determine.
Well,
Maybe that's why they have a grand jury. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why
and listening
Did
further
they
on,
convene a grand jury yet?
Go ahead. MRM. What you
yeah,
saying?
listening further on, you hear the lady saying, "I want to know who's all on the boat," and she said, "How many are you on the boat?" The person's like, "There's 7 of us." They're like, "Do all 7 of you guys have life jackets?" They're like, "Yeah, we all have life jackets." They said, "Is there anyone on the boat that's not breathing, basically living?" They're like, "No, there's nobody on the boat that's not breathing and not living." Now, you can argue and say they all could be lying, whatever like that, but you can hear the people in the background talking too. And I went to the 16-second mark, man. And my son is really good with sound engineering. I'm gonna have him do that too and see if we can, because that's just, I don't know. I didn't know what with the girl. I didn't really get to hear it clear through your phone, but I am going to the 16-second mark and trying to, figure that out, because that wouldn't make sense for them to say that at all. And what they mean by, okay, for example, what do they mean by Nolan is what? What they say Nolan is dying?
No, they said, is he dead? And then someone said Nolan. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm going according. See, Uncle Tom does all these theatrics. I'm going according to what they said. I'm not espousing a thing. I'm going according to
I
what
didn't
they
say
said.
anything. Why
Nah,
you
but you
putting
making
on
all
me?
these theatrics. You're freaking out over there.
Because it kills me, man.
Exactly, man. I didn't do it. Like, what you
That's
want
why
from
I'm
me?
about to start looking up calibers, because this is yeah.
Yeah, that's a stretch a little bit right there.
Well,
I mean, but it could. I mean, like I said, but hey, I don't know. Maybe it
hey,
could be,
listen,
but
if your son is good at that MRM, I task you to do it, and then when you get a chance, I know you're a very busy man. If you get back to me and just let me know, I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying?
The,
What y'all come
the,
up with?
the chances of people adding the extra words in there in this AI work are very, very high, extremely high.
well, okay. And then you know what? Like what you said too, Papi Blanco. Even if you took that right there, you know that they're going to take that timestamp. Let's just say if we go along with what they just alleged, right? They're going to take that timestamp and they're going to compare that to actually when Nolan, because we can tell how long you've been dead.
Yes.
So if they say,
They give you a time frame.
yeah, you see what I'm saying? So if the time frame from when they made that phone call and it's like, oh my God, is he dead? If he was dying or dead indeed at that point in time, they're gonna be able to tell how long he's been dead. And if it don't match up with that, then again, there goes that whole, we heard him say he's dying in the audio, or so yeah, but
That's
I mean,
fair.
and there's nothing wrong with it. Hey, even with that, even though that can be like a way out of this world conspiracy, why not be able to go and also investigate that as well if these things are to be true?
Facts. Now, there's another video that shows somebody getting like stomped out and kind of buried or whatever. That is not Nolan Wells. So I don't know why people are running with that. That is not Nolan Wells. People are running with
Let me
that,
ask
trying
you
to
a
make a
question.
scene. Hold on.
Go
Can
ahead.
I just land my plane? Big-headed man. Pause. That's not Nolan Wells that they are sitting there trying to make it seem like was getting stomped out by the white people. I don't know who that was. I pray that is AI and that's nobody in real life because they got caught a bad day, but that is not Nolan Wells. Go ahead, Uncle Tom. What say you, man?
I ain't gonna lie, I forgot. I got a short attention span. That's why I blurt out stuff, because I really do have a short attention span.
Shout out to Udo on Go. What's up, Udo?
This whole concept of everyone putting their emotions before facts is crazy. But to say that they're not doing it is insane. I mean, everything that's come out so far is based off emotions of how you feel about a situation, not necessarily anything about a fact about the situation. We're just speculating. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying everything that's came out when other people put it on these interwebs is about their emotions, or how a black man should feel, or how a black person living here in these United States, or what happened, what's the goings on in Mississippi. If it happened in Mississippi, it's true.
And the thing is that every single time, I say this all the time, you get a chance to prove yourself on the internet about who you really are, and what you really are about based off of how you act, you react, what you say, and even in the comment section. It's so interesting that a lot of people claim to be so logical and everything like that, but then yet when you go over and you see in the comment section, you like, y'all are doing the very thing y'all claim that y'all don't like, and then y'all claim that y'all hate. Is, you know, these to me, I love it because I with my mentees, I let them see things like this and watch it because it definitely serves as a means of a proving ground to those that claim to be smart, or claim to be logical, and claim to be critical thinking. But then if somebody think differently than them, oh, you know, y'all must not be black. You know, they just trying to do this for the white person, all because we have questions and we thinking differently, seeing things from a different perspective. I love differences of opinion. It allows me to actually get a full balance of everything.
Get you sharp.
So I got a question. I got a couple questions for y'all. With that being said, was Officer Tatum conducting an investigating journalism or running interference? In your opinion, I want to know what each one of y'all have to say and why. Why running interference? Was he conductive, clean investigative journalism, or was he running interference, meaning running with a narrative or shaping a narrative for these young men? And why or why not? And what do y'all think?
Can I go
I'll
first?
go real quick. Mine's fast.
Go ahead.
I'll say Brandon Tatum was doing neither one of them because he already said from the get-go that he was only doing this based off the question that a lot of people in the comment section wanted to be asked to him, to the guys that were on the boat.
You stole
so
my,
this is not him.
Answer.
Hey, and I was gonna say the same thing. This is coming from a
You stole
person
my
that can't stand a stomach that black dude. I have a whole. I ain't gonna say hatred. I ain't gonna say I hate the dude, but I just think he when it comes to police issues, it's police first and then other people second. And just his affiliation. That's the only thing I don't like. Well, that's the main thing I don't like about him. I don't think he's objective when it comes to police officers, except I've seen he did it one time. Other than that, it's always been police. That's what my thing is about him. But I don't really like the dude, so I ain't gonna hold you no water to him.
What this man is doing is just doing what big channels is doing, just following the algorithm and get paid behind it. Throw a little bit of journalism in there, throw his little conspiracy theory in there. All that thing is mixed in together, man. But make no mistake about it. I need those clips and views, and I need to get in the algorithm. So he ain't doing neither one of those things that you mentioned, Easy.
Okay, so now I got another statement and then a question. Shout out to OG Do Dirty. Forget whether you think Officer Tatum or whether you like him, whether you think that he's a coon or not a coon. Forget that, right? Forget whether you distrust mainstream media or not. The question is this: did these interviews move us closer to the truth, or simply move one side closer to winning the court of public opinion?
I think it didn't do anything, to be quite honest with you. I think what it really did, especially when he talked to the second guy, you know, it's like, oh, the mother said that she didn't know the best friend and she really don't really know who he is, whatever. And then the best friend coming on saying she totally know who I am. I've been at their house. I know where they live. I left my car there. I took them to school. We got pictures of prom, but that doesn't do anything to solve Nolan Wells' case. You know what I'm saying? And then with the guy that was talking right there, the timestamp of them leaving and everything like that, I don't think that that's going to give us any substantiation to what really happened to Nolan Wells. Now, I would have liked to know what happened to the girl that he supposedly stayed back with. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Me too. I want to know where's the girl. That's gonna be my question.
Now, allegedly, the girl is allegedly cooperating with police and cooperating with the investigation. Allegedly, all right.
Sounds good.
Yeah, right. It does. What say you, OG Do Dirty, on this?
I kind of agree with MRM. I just think it just muddied it up more, bro, because everything's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? We're used to hearing something where we can nail it down because it's already been a little minute. We already know a little bit of facts. We was looking for something to come out, but like he said, it's nothing that's really adding up. So it just make you look at it with more of the conspiracy, like you want to add to. And I don't really like what Officer Tatum is doing right now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You don't? Why not? I think it's great because I think it gives us another side of the story, other things to at least compare what we've heard to, and to try to get closer to the truth. Why don't you like it?
Because it goes back to that muddying part. You know what I'm saying? You letting these people come up here and stuff like that is happening, bro. Like just him on the times, like come on, bro. That's little bitty stuff. Like, bro, you shouldn't really be talking right now. You really need to be waiting to, you know what I'm saying, in court or whatever else, because you don't know if they're gonna call you up. I don't know the situation if they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, he gonna be, you know what I'm saying, called up anything, even been, you know what I'm saying, testify to anything. So if that part do come, it's just all, like I said, if you're not giving, we don't have all the details to it. So it ain't like you can pin something down and it just talk, you know what I'm saying, at this point. Because you know what I'm saying, if you're going to take everything that he say is true, then most people are going to push, you know what I'm saying, they didn't do nothing. But we don't know what happened. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's not, because if I'm hearing him correctly, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or not, he don't know what happened.
He's claiming he doesn't. Right. He's claiming he doesn't know what happened.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. He's just trying to substantiate that they was nowhere around where whatever happened to Nolan happened to him. In essence, right? So is interviewing witnesses before an investigation concludes responsible journalism or premature narrative building? What do y'all think about that?
I would say it's pretty much. I would say it's pretty much short narrative building.
Yeah.
Because I gotta keep it going and going, especially if you're a channel holder. You know what I mean? I gotta keep feeding the people with the bullshit they already believe anyway.
I might have heard that wrong there. What was it, Izzy? I thought you.
I said is interviewing the witness before the investigation concludes. Is it investigative journalism or premature narrative building?
It can be both.
Yeah,
it can be both.
Pick one.
Well, you can't pick one because
is it responsible? Hold on.
Let
Let me ask you this, and I apologize. Is it responsible investigative journalism? Is it responsible investigative journalism?
Yes, they do it because they do it all the time, right? When it comes to those grape allegations or something like that, you got those lawyers that come out. They do their own little investigation. They do their narrative building with the actual person, and it does the same thing. So it can be both at the same time, and it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's just getting information out to people, whether you believe it or not. You can choose to believe it. You can choose to disregard it. So it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's just, I can say it's building a narrative because that's literally what it is, and it also could be good journalism at the same time.
When you think about how any allegations come against any politician, as soon as they step out them doors, the news reporters are there. Hey, did you actually do this? Like, these are baseless claims. We're gonna fight it. We're gonna this, and then you end up finding out later on in court. Oh, actually, so you did do it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's no different than that, though. But as far as a young man, though, I don't know why. I don't think it was a good idea for him to go on there and open up his mouth. But at the same time, it could be a possibility that this may not even be a thing to go to trial. This may not even go to court. It might just be found that Nolan Wells passed away of X, Y, and Z, and that's it, and it's over. It's a wrap. So why wouldn't they talk?
Right, but I think I'm with you though. I wish I'm glad that he did it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, for content's sake, and of course for a little bit of clarity's sake, or whatever the case may be. At the same time, I do, wish that we got whether the investigation is over, whether there's gonna be charges out there, whether they're gonna charge somebody. I wish that all of that was out first before, before these interviews dropped, if that makes sense, right? Noah Bell said, if you go too hard and push him, then he won't talk. We need Warren talking. It's just me. Say Katie and her sister spoke out. Katie said only had a brief conversation with Nolan. Okay, allegedly. Okay. TV Trucker said everything was done the next day. Sin7 Sin said, why do you assume his death was foul play to begin with? I don't like that they did say that it wasn't foul play to begin with, but I don't assume that it was. Shout out to Easy One. What's up, Easy One? What's going on? And make sure y'all supporting the show. Hit the like button. Likes are free. Yeah, toxicology reports usually take 6 to 8 weeks. Shout out to my guy, Kojak 330 Great. Hit the like button. Likes are free, y'all. Shout out to Black Beauty Gaming in the building. Good to see you. M Mills in the building. Good to see you. It's crazy. Cat was good to see you. Hey, Blue Jay said, I lost my best friend to self-deletion 6 years ago. She was Asian. Her husband was white. Suspected him because he's white was never a thought. But if it had been proposed, I would have considered that evil. Shout out to JD 1975. What's up, bro?
You're not there.
What's unlikely say, yo, so we're still assuming these boys deleted one of their best friends? Not necessarily, but it's not off the table. It's not crazy to think that. I don't know. So again, I want to wait until the facts come out to know for a fact. So I'm not espousing any guilt if that's what y'all think I'm doing. I'm not. Emil said they are not going to do nothing unless you catch them red-handed, and they will still lie. Damn, Emil, that's how you feel? Sheesh. Go
But the
ahead.
thing is that if my wife died, I don't have a wife, but if my wife died, I will be the number one suspect on that list.
That's
That's
the
just
truth.
how it is.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? If my kids die, I mean, I hope it never happen, but like, you
God
see what I'm
forbid.
saying? I would be the number one suspect on that list. If it was something violent, of course. We're not talking about nothing natural, right? They're gonna. So it's kind of like in the police world, investigation world. They're going to whoever is the closest. You're gonna be a number one suspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you went to your best friend's house and you happen to die in there, they're gonna interrogate the hell out you.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, that
Yeah.
just makes sense. I mean, that's nothing racially motivated about it. That's why I don't understand. But that's why I don't understand when people mention that all these people were white and this one guy was black. Why people would get so riled up and upset about the noticing of fact rather than you know what I mean, taking it as that just a noticing of facts.
So why? So this what I'm saying though. The thing is though is that what Poppy just got done saying. Why would he become the number one suspect? The number one suspect of what?
Of deletion.
Exactly. In this case, there was no suspicion of deletion. So that's what I'm saying. People just instantly went into they did something to him. They did something to him. They
But
did
it
something to him.
should, but that's the problem though, MRM. You can't see that. It should have been if it was, and I think what a lot of people's argument is if the roles were reversed, they would have absolutely automatically assumed foul play. But
You
the
gotta give an
problem,
example, though.
but I have given two examples, but the problem is when it comes to a black life, they automatically try to make it seem like it was some sort of accident or self-deletion. And
Wait.
that's the problem that a lot of people have.
Hey, y'all do know you do know that there's one going on right now with a young man that's 19 years old. He was found in the river drowned too. He's black right now. That's going on right now.
Yes,
now.
and there's one where these guys threw their friend off, the alleged friend, off a bridge, and daggone deleted the information on his cell phone and hid his clothes, and now this kid is being charged because they found out that he did that. So yeah, and the two guys happen to be white, and the kid happened to be black. But yes,
right.
So it happened.
But
At first, they made it seem like they didn't know anything. Like it was just an accident. Oh, they didn't know he couldn't swim, and he just fell in the water.
Right. So the thing is, though, is that when it came out, when they did the investigation, they was like, "No, this don't add up. This looks like a homicide." Therefore, if they're gonna say this is like a homicide, we getting ready to go after the ones who we gonna find that's the closest to them, because now this is some homicidal type stuff, right? But in Nolan Wells' case, all I'm saying is that when it first happened, there was no signs or anything like, "Hey, this is some homicide-like type stuff." But instantly, when the internet caught wind of it, and it's like, okay, they did something to them, then it seemed like it became a thing where, okay.
You don't think that that's suspicious though? That's what I'm saying. Like that's not suspicious to you. That they're like, again, it should have been a thing of it was going to be the reason why Ben Crump and them got involved, why the parents got Ben Crump and them involved, is because off the top, Sheriff Ledbetter said that he didn't see any foul play involved. So evidence of foul play. So the problem is you are supposed to do a thorough investigation first and then rule out and say, yo, yeah, we rule it out. There was no foul play. But the fact that they immediately went to that before they did any investigation is absolutely problematic. Why can't y'all see that? I don't get why y'all can't see that.
I completely understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying. The thing is, though, is that if they, okay, when you said that he said there's no foul play, what made him come to that conclusion?
Well, like from his investigation, kind of like, you know what I mean? Because
no, he didn't even investigate. He just looked at allegedly it was right after the body had came to the surface and they found the body. Right. They didn't
so
do
the
anything.
forensic people gonna examine. They gotta do their little, you know what I mean? They gotta write down what they see, because obviously the final The final say so it would be weeks later when they have to do the autopsy. Was this person on drugs? Did he die from a heart attack? That's when we're gonna find out what really happened weeks later.
So, but this is the thing, Poppy. What I'm saying is, so to answer your question, MRM, when he first came out the water, and because they were looking for him, the first thing that the sheriff said on daggone July the 6th, 2026 was, yeah, we found him. We that's Nolan, but we don't see any evidence of foul play. That was totally out of order and totally unprofessional. There should have been an investigation first before he said anything about what would have possibly or could have happened to Nolan. And that's how we got here. And it's like people want to ignore the fact that that's the reason why we're here and how we got here. And that's
but wait, ridiculous. Can that not be that that's just procedural though? Because with the person that was found hung at the college, the police showed up and said the same exact thing. They literally said there's no signs of foul play, there's no tire marks, there's no shoe. So right now, this looked like this just must have been this. There's no signs of it. But then people still said, "Wait a minute, we want a thorough investigation done." It seemed like it's the same exact thing. So I don't look at the fact that the cops said there's no foul play here as, wait, this is suspicious, because they've done that on many other cases as well, where they flat out just said, "Hey, we know this person was found hung from the tree. Hey, we looked around. There's no signs of foul play, no signs of a struggle, no drag marks, no disturbances in the dirt." But people still were like, "Okay, we don't believe y'all. We want something else done," and they did it.
So this is the thing. The point is, what do those people have in common when they say there's no foul play? Off the rip, those people those generally speaking, when they say that off the rip, those people are melanated people. That's the problem.
Okay, in that same state, it was an unmelanated person that was found hung too, and they did the same exact thing. They showed up and said this looked like there was no foul play. The guy was homeless. He was a white guy. That looked like there was no foul play. They end up getting a hold of that dude's family, and the family's like, "No, we want something because he's not self-deleting type. He's not the self-deleting type. So we want an investigation done." They're like, "Man, we know he was homeless, but where he's hung from, there's only footprints that were there were his, and we don't care. We still want something done because the fact that it was by a bridge, by a tree." They did the same thing for him.
Okay. Again, as the same thing, the point that I'm making is, generally speaking, the history has shown when it comes to so-called Black people in America, there is a huge neglect when it comes to our lives being lost. And like, how y'all could deny that, I don't understand. I'm being quite frank. Okay, so if you acknowledge that there is a history of neglect when Black lives are lost, I don't understand why people could be outraged that these parents would want to make sure that there is no type of foul play and make sure that they get the proper answers to what happened, regardless to what it is, just impeding any type of injustice of getting them to find out the facts. Why is that such a problematic assessment?
Not a problem at all to want to get down to the bottom of what happened, who did it, and all that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And if it comes to the point to where, but see, my thing is though, I just don't like the fact, man, that it's being used as a means of saying, "Well, see there." Now we're like, okay, for example, Easy, what you said. If we want to say that Blacks seem to be the ones that don't get the most intense investigative, like they just don't even care. Okay, look, they kill each other or whatever like that, or if a Black get killed, we're not about to put all our efforts and everything into this, blah, 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 blah. I can understand that particular argument, right? But it seemed like it can be completely amplified more because of the fact that this is white kids who, we know there were Blacks there too, but white kids who were his friends that were involved. See, it was a racist thing that people was making out to be initially. Then they found out that, oh wait, one of his best friends is also a Black dude too. Now what does the race thing come in at now? Well, that's different though now, because that boy ain't fully Black though. So the white side of him could have been the racist
yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I get that, and I'm never saying nothing like that because that's absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
At the same time, I guess the thing of there was 4 kids that went out on that island on one boat, and out of the 4 kids, 3 returned and only 1 didn't, and the 1 happened to be Black and the 3 happened to be white. Then I could see that kind of conversation coming out, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's natural to go, wait, it was 3 white dudes and 1 black dude.
Right.
Wait a minute. Until I find out that those 3 white dudes are actually his friend. Then the race thing just completely goes out. Then it's like, it's a wrap. They're his best friends. There's no more races, no more. It's a wrap. They've been friends since they were 9 years old. Now I can't sit there and try to throw in there racist.
Well, yeah, and again, I wouldn't throw in racist for kids so much anyway, especially modern day kids. At the same time, I cannot then say that race has nothing to do with it either, if that makes sense. So I'm never calling them kids racist because there's no real substantiation of that. And like I said, I lived in the area, so I know that Black people and white people get together all the time in Ocean Springs and Biloxi. That's just what happens, right?
That's a fact. If you ain't been to Biloxi Beach, whew.
Right. That's just what happens, right? There be old white people with little black children running around Walmart every day, twice on Sunday. However, what I would say is that there is a lot of prejudice there still, and a lot of bias and bigotry there still, even with that being said, right? And I lived out there for about 3, almost 4 years. So, I would know. But there are a lot of people who do hang out, hook up, and are together that are black and white out there for a fact, right? It's a normal thing.
And see, at the same time, too, Izzy, I threw this in there too, and people got pissed off about this. The mother said she don't know his friend. She's like, I don't know that's not his best friend. I don't know who this person is. And now, reason why I'm saying it, because people got pissed off when I made this statement. Dude, Izzy. Well, my sons are grown now, 24 and 22, right? Do you know I knew exactly who all my sons' friends were, and I knew who my sons' parents were. And if my sons was ever hanging out with them, I made phone calls. Period. Now, people got pissed off at me. Are you trying to say she's a bad parent? No, I'm not saying it. But what I am saying, as a responsible parent myself, I knew who all my son's friends were and my son's parents were, and I had their phone number. So if they went and hung out, I'm calling, Mr. Smith, hey, my son and your son going to the mall, right? Right. Did you pick them up? Yeah. What time you drop them off? At 7. Okay. What time they say they're going to be done? When the mall closed 9, you picking them up? Yeah. Right when I make that phone call, hey, Mr. Smith, let me know when you drop them off. Hey, Ty, I just dropped them off, right? 30 minutes within them being there. I'm calling my son, Bri. Where y'all at right now? Oh, we in the mall. Who all with y'all? Oh, me, such and such, such, such. Where he at right now? Right here. Let me talk to Matt. Hey, Matt, what y'all up to? That's me.
Right.
I just don't know.
Yeah,
So
I'm the same helicopter parent. I'm telling you that right now. So I want to know everything about where my kids going, who they hanging out with, who their parents are. That's a start of you being the friend with someone. I want to know what their name is, their parents' name. We need to meet and find out what's going on. Those are just basic things, bro.
But the thing is, if they did not know that kid in that particular manner, then that's fair to say they didn't know him like that. If they saw him a time or two or saw him, that's fair. Kids.
But he said this. See, the thing is this. What I'm saying, what I'm getting at is this: the best friend came on there, and he said, he basically said it was you saw it. He said he was kind of like, you could tell it hurt him. It's like, for her to say she didn't know me, I took him to school. I left my car there. Like, I'm in the prom pictures. What the heck? He kind of like, what? Like, wow. So that's what kind of got me like, wait a minute now, come on, man. Like,
but it's not. Well, number one, she just lost her child, right? And right. I pray.
My God.
Wait, hold on, let me finish, bro. She just lost her child, right? So it's a lot of possibilities, right? You know how sometimes a friend is known as something like for example, right? His name is Tristan, right? He could have been known as T Grizzly for the sake of just conversation, right? And Nolan always referred to him as T Grizzly, and then she didn't know him as Tristan, or he could have been around, but she didn't really know him like that. She wasn't really invested in him like that. He just was around sometimes. They was cool, but she really didn't know him like that. That's all possible. I don't understand why y'all acting like that's not possible at all.
Right. No, I get you, because I said I mentioned this too. I got a best friend. My best friend is Jeremy. We've been friends since we were 13 years old. Now, if you just ask my mom how many times have my best friend Jeremy sat down and had a conversation with my mom, he would be like, oh, I speak to her when I see her. But yet my mom knows that's my best friend. But so what I'm saying is that she knows of him. And the only thing that gets me is that, again, I know these ifs and all this. If I know that my son is getting ready to go out on the water anywhere, dude, I'm calling like every 30 minutes. Hey, y'all good? What?
We
If I
got
broke out, where you at? You know, I'm calling because for one, the water, it's a bunch of friends, it's cool. But as a responsible
we
parent,
gotta
I'm gonna be
we gotta
checking
put
in on them. You know what I'm saying? And then like
we gotta
again, I will call the friends. Hey Matt, what y'all doing right now? Where Brian at? Hey Thomas, what y'all doing right now? Where's such and such at? Hey Izzy, where y'all at right now? Where Brian at right now? You know what I'm saying? Just to be checking in. That's all I'm saying.
also the thing is what you say is correct, Renaissance man, right? Especially when our kids are little, right? Like 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. You know what I mean? When they start hanging out with their little friends or whatever. The older that they get, it's a good chance. It's not 100%, but it's a good chance the less you're going to know their friends. High school time. If I'm not mistaken, Nolan Wells is like what, 17, 18, I believe?
He was 18. He was in college. He was in college.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
Blue Jay made a great point.
There,
Blue Jay. Go
there you go, right? College, community college or one of
Yeah,
those
yeah. Community college, like a community college.
chances. That means this is new friendships for the most part. Chances of them, the parents knowing their friends, are gonna be kind of slim to none. In college, even when you live at home, right?
Right.
You pretty much an adult. You just happen to live at your parent house.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right, but this particular guy though, he said that they've been knowing each other since the 9th grade.
But
he
Blue
said
Jay
he got prom pictures and all. So I get what you're saying with the college thing, but this is not the friends that he's talking about is not ones that he met in college. They've been friends since the 9th grade.
I get it. I don't know. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But you think that she lied about that? Like what reason? Let me ask you this. What reason do you think that she would have to lie about that?
She just lost
I
her
wouldn't
kid.
say.
She lost
I
a
wouldn't say she
kid.
lied.
Wait, hold on
you
real
know,
quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Go ahead, Modern Renaissance man.
Like Uncle Tom was saying, she lost a kid, and on top of that, I mean, hey, I don't have to show y'all now, but I pulled up on my channel where she said nobody reached out to her, but then yet they got phone logs and calls of them actually reaching out to her, trying to get a hold of her. But at first she said nobody called her, but they did. You know what I'm saying? So I guess when that trauma hit, it's a lot of emotion that can kick in. I don't know why she would say I don't know no friends of his. He don't have no best friends. He never told me about any, and you know, it's so strange. I don't know if it's because of a high rise of emotions or whatever, but it just comes off as being like, whoa, I don't know.
Right, but then so then why when I said initially, well, she just lost a kid. First of all, y'all said especially Uncle Tom, but then people in the chat was like, "Come on, Izzy," and I'm like, "Yo,
I did that because."
But
because
okay, because I'm about to
when
say,
you said it, no, when you said that, I was just like, "Come on, man!" And now when I did it on purpose because I was giving the same excuse. Hey, she just lost a kid. But these are also true emotions. A lot of things go up when you lose your child. And I had to literally think about what you said and be like, you know what? It could be that she lost her child. Because I know if I lost my child and shit too,
you wouldn't be in your right mind. Yeah, you're not gonna be in your right mind at all.
I mean, I was literally taking in what you said now, and I corrected myself and say, you know what? She probably because she lost her child.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe that lady was lying at all. She just somebody. I can only imagine that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? She looking for answers. It's a good chance that she's going to be a little bit biased because, like, yo, y'all was around my child, y'all know something, and I feel like I ain't telling the truth, so I gotta kind of quote unquote distance myself from you and say that I don't know you because you know what I mean. So, but she wasn't lying. That lady just going through hell right now,
bro. Because I mean, honestly, like, dude, like with my young folks, dude, I had like $20 taken from me. Everybody became a suspect. $20.
Come on, man. For $20.
I'm a capitalist. I'm all y'all pockets. Even the people I work with, I'm like, you didn't see that $20 sitting. It was sitting right. Nobody saw it. Y'all really gonna make me go back and pull the cameers? I'm giving you a chance. Everybody a suspect.
What happened to your $20? What happened to your $20?
My own sons. I'm like, where you did that? You know we wouldn't know. I don't know you wouldn't. Like everybody.
So what happened to your $20 though? At the end of the day, what happened?
It ended up being one of my young people, one of my mentees.
Oh dang.
I said I'm gonna run the cameras. But I tell you what, this is what I'm gonna do. Y'all all got my number. I'm gonna go off. Hey, y'all go continue what y'all doing. Whoever did it, shoot me a text. And we ain't gonna make it obvious.
Okay, so they told you, but okay, she told you. Damn.
She had no choice. I was gonna run the
Maybe
camera.
she needed that $20. Mount Renaissance.
Yeah,
Damn.
she needed that whooping I gave her too.
Damn. You whip people? Wait, you be whipping people's kids?
Yes.
Oh my God, bro.
He said yes with all authority.
With a crowd, you beating people children, MRM?
Yes.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Can't be.
Hey, but they obviously trust him, so you can't say that. You can't have a knock against it. They obviously trust him, man.
Watch out now, Renison, man. Now you're gonna have all these big bags calling you all kind of names and abuser and all of that.
They can say what they want to. It ain't this been what we going on 17 years?
Abuser. He probably abused his wife too.
That's how rumors get started. Hey, let's hold on real quick. Let's get into this, y'all. Let me see. Damn. We didn't hardly get into no video. Do y'all want to go to 4 or y'all want to stay in 3? Let me. Y'all tell me what y'all want to do. This is the third extension. The 4th one is with him still, and then the 5th one is the one that y'all talking about with Tristan. So wait, y'all want me go ahead back to where we were, or what y'all want me to do as far as this video is concerned?
Whatever you want to do, my guy.
All right, let me go ahead then.
Gonna make a couple phone calls to either DMR or Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and friends there, and I was like, okay, well, it's a little concerning. Like, I mean, I'm not freaking out or anything, but like, I'm trying to find out where Nolan is. So I texted Javon, and I was like, hey, and also a couple other buddies that I had at the island. I was like, hey, have y'all seen Nolan? Did he ride in with y'all? And all the boys were like, no. Well, I texted Javon, and I was like, hey, can you send me Miss Christine's number, because I haven't heard from Nolan, and if she hasn't heard from Nolan, then I'm calling the Coast Guard. And so eventually, Javon sent me her number.
Who is her? That's
Miss Christine.
Miss Christine is
Nolan's mom.
Nolan's mom.
Yeah. And
who said someone was saying that they had Javon's phone too? They didn't have Javon's phone too. Javon's mom was the one that went over there to get Nolan's phone. Miss Christine sent Javon's mom over there to get Nolan's phone. But someone had asserted that Javon's phone was with these kids too. And obviously it wasn't, because he texted Javon his own admission to get Miss Christine's number. So they didn't even have Miss Christine's number. So there's that. And there was another kid that said, Nolan always hung out over here. We never hung out over his house. So what do y'all say to these things?
Interesting. It's interesting.
Okay. Let's keep pushing that.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one.
I walked down to the dock
because I mean, I it wasn't just one friend. Like, I had multiple friends, and I hung up all over their house, and they hung up all on mine too. So unless they, man, it's weird. That's God.
Yeah. Now they did literally said they never went over his house like that. They literally said, "What's up? What's up?" Every fader said probably true. They literally said that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. Since y'all, let me stop. I'm about to troll here, and I was about to troll. Well, since
don't troll.
What I was gonna say in a funny way is that I'm just saying, if all his friends was white and he's black, a lot of black folks like, don't you be having nobody up in my house.
Well, there's that.
You be having your friends up in the house because y'all like to. No, I'm just joking though. But that'd be a question only that his mom could answer, because the other best friend said he was over his house all the time. I was over there all the time. I took him to school. So
I don't know. The black mamas do be strict though. I give you that. Let's go.
Because I mean, there was a lot of people today. It was not a lot, but there was probably 15 of our friends there, and I was just like, walk down to the dock with a couple of my buddies, and I got on the phone. I called Miss Christine, called her the first time. She didn't answer. I called her a second time, and I got on the phone with her, and I asked her if she had heard from Nolan. She said no, and I said, all right, well, don't freak out. I'm going to call the Coast Guard, and this was at about 11 o'clock.
So what's your intent in calling the Coast Guard, right? Because right now, Nolan could be with a chick. He could be with somebody else.
Right.
He could have gone back with somebody else. What made you concerned enough that you felt like you couldn't weigh it out anymore? You had to call the Coast Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my friends and I have been on the water our whole life. Stuff happens. People die all the time. I know people that have died out there. And, it's a fun place to be, but it's also a very, very dangerous place to be if you're not handling it right. And Nolan, so I hadn't heard from him. And obviously, I'm thinking I'd way rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I would rather call the Coast Guard 100 times and lose my mind over it, and my buddy be okay, than, not, and me not know where he is and him not be okay. And so I called the Coast Guard and I talked to them on the phone for like 20 minutes, gave him a description, what Nolan was wearing, the last place we were at, the last time I saw him, who were we with, what boat we were on, the conditions of the water, just a summary. And I called Miss Christine back after, and I talked to her, and I said, I got to contact the Coast Guard. I'm not sure who she called or, what she did, but I think she said she was going to make a couple phone calls to either DMR or Jackson County Sheriff's Office. And I was thinking worst case scenario. Like, I would way rather be safe than sorry about this,
Yeah. So you called. So it seems like you called mom immediately.
Right.
Probably the first phone call that she got from anybody.
That's the first phone call, like at least I made. And I would assume that's the first phone call she got from anybody, because Javon hadn't called her. And, there's nothing wrong with that, but Javon hadn't called her. And
okay. So 11 o'clock. So they left for something. Around 11 something, he didn't see his friend. And so he called. Anybody got anything to say on that? What are y'all thoughts on that?
Yeah, like already we got people saying that the dude is lying. If he lying, this gonna end up coming back to bite him in the butt. And at the same time, if he is lying about these calls and stuff he made, wouldn't the Coast Guard have record of all this?
Yep.
They're gonna have record of the phone calls. And if he did call the mother, wouldn't they have record of this? In which I think on Tatum, on one of his what do you call it? On one of his shorts, they showed the screenshot of him calling the mother.
The mother admitted. The mother admitted it. The mother said that happened.
But he's lying though.
The mother did corroborate that.
Oh, he lying.
And listen, y'all hit the like button. God dog, what's up with the likes? Y'all ain't even supporting the show. Hit the like button. If you want your comments, holler at Red. Do so through the super chat, through the Cash App. Go ahead, Blanco.
This young guy doing this interview, bro. There is no way. I'm gonna say there's no way. That's a little too strong. These people lawyer up already, right?
Yes.
So it's a great chance that he probably ain't got nothing to do with it. Because for you to do sitting down to do interviews, bro, there is no way. Like you would be the dumbest human being in America, bro. And one thing about these white boys know how to do, they know how to lawyer up. They're way better than us when it comes to the lawyer up situations. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they lawyered up before the body was found.
Huh?
They lawyered up before the body was found.
I think he's gonna say in his interview.
So he feeling comfortable doing this interview. It's a great chance this man got nothing to do with nothing.
Absolutely.
Because a lawyer, there is no way on planet Earth. Once he got like a advice from a lawyer that he would sit down and do an interview on an open case that he can potentially be involved. No way. A lawyer will not let you do that.
Because if he lawyered up, that lawyer would be fired right now.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I don't care what, you shut your mouth. You're not doing no interviews. You're not doing nothing. You continue to do what you're doing right now. But for him to go on here and talk so openly, not knowing what questions Brandon Tatum is about to ask him, that's why I said I felt like, he has no involvement in this.
I already said that from the get-go. That's why I asked, what did he get back on the boat, since they said it went back out? Because again, that wasn't his boat. He was just another person on the boat. So
I wouldn't say 100%, but I'm willing to go 98, 99, 98.
Well, if he said he didn't go back out with the boat, and he said he took a nap, that would tell you, 9 times out of 10, he wasn't a part of it. At least that's the way
they all went back out. They all went back out on the boat.
No,
allegedly.
you said allegedly, and now we.
I said allegedly.
Now we're making a statement saying that they blankly all went back out.
I just said allegedly just then too. So that's what I'm saying. I just said allegedly the second time too. So don't do that. Allegedly. Let's go.
I was just worried about my friend. Stuff happens out there. Boat problems. It could be anything. But there's a lot of stuff that happens out there, and I was just worried about my friend.
And so you guys made that call, nothing that night. And I'm assuming you wake up the next day, and then what happens?
I wake up the next day at about 7:30, and my dad had texted me, because obviously Nolan's photo was all over Facebook, and I just saw it everywhere, and I was freaked out, because I was like, oh my gosh, I assumed Nolan's just we had been drinking all day, and that he's just sleeping somewhere, and that he's okay. But I didn't want to believe that if we didn't know for sure. So, I mean, next day I woke up and my stepdad walked in my room. He said, "Hey, like, have they heard anything about Nolan? Like, what's going on?" Because I hadn't spoke to him, and he was like, I was like, "Yeah, no, like, I don't know. I just gotten up." And he was like, "All right, well, we're going and getting on the boat and looking for him." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." So I got my buddy Ricky, I got my buddy Brooks, I got my buddy Jax. My mom came on the boat with my stepdad and I, and we all went out there and looked. When I got out there was dozens of DMR boats, helicopters, planes flying over Horn Island. And this wasn't just Horn Island. There was also Ship Island they were looking at, I'm sure. And
yes, I just want to throw this in there real quick. Where in here does he say that he lawyered up already? See what I'm saying?
Well, the mom had already admitted it. The mom admitted it that they the mom admitted it that his mom is a judge, just for the record. The mom who's the judge had already admitted that they deleted their social media and they got a lawyer. So
see what I'm saying? His story
on her social. No, I'm not saying that he said this because I haven't got through this interview. I'm watching this for the first time for the record.
Okay. I've seen it.
Okay. I haven't watched it either.
Cool. I won't stop again. Okay.
So let me ask this. So let me make this very. I want you to clarify this for me. This boy mom is a judge.
Oh. Yes. Warren's mom is a judge.
I already know he's about to go. Go ahead, Poppy.
Warren's mom is Ashley Cole, a judge out there in Ocean Springs.
Yeah, you're judge of the town. You got a lot of influence. The judge of the town is near, like, next to the mayor of the city, right?
Yes. That was the point I was making earlier. Yes.
Let me go ahead and play the devil's advocate at this point, right? Hey, you see what I'm saying? You got a lot of influence, a lot of you connected to to the police department. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything kind of runs through you. Oh, your mom is judge, such and so. Hey, this is what happened. But again, this got to be investigated fully. You don't get it twisted. I don't care where it is. Everything got to be investigated fully. But I still gonna sustain my premise that I don't think this boy had anything to do. He got any involvement for the simple fact that he's too bold to be sitting down on these couches on an open, quote unquote, investigation.
I don't know, because the mama made a statement first on Facebook. She came out with a statement first on Facebook to address the reason why they deleted their social media, why they got a lawyer. She was saying this and that. So I don't know. She was corroborating the story. I'll be honest. It don't look great. I'm be real with you. It don't look great. I can't necessarily go to the place that y'all are going, that just because he's doing this interview means that he's innocent. That doesn't mean that to me. I'll be quite frank with you. That doesn't mean that to me. But hey,
what does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything, quite frankly. I mean, it just means that he's telling his side of the story, and I'm glad that he is. I don't think that is the best thing for him per se, but I think it's wonderful for us.
So his mother being a judge,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, son, go ahead and talk.
No, but you gotta understand. You gotta understand that there's people that are asserting that his mother actually paid Tatum to do this interview, allegedly. So there's people that hold on real quick. Let me finish the statement. There's people that are asserting that the mother, Ashley Cole, paid Officer Tatum to do this interview, and this is kind of like a PR type thing and a way for them to get in the public, because you got to remember, Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, and the parents have been very vocal and very, very loud about this situation, and have been explaining and putting out their narrative. Warren and them have never been able to put out their narrative other than the mother, stepmother, whatever she is, getting up there and stating her case. So this is a way of doing controlled PR. Like, let's just be honest. It is a way, you know what I mean?
So let me get this right. This judge lady, she's still a judge, right?
Yes. A family court judge, allegedly.
Going to pay this guy openly to pretty much kind of like, in a way, that's like interfering in the open investigation. Last time I checked, that's some sort of crime, right? So she's gonna she gonna intervene, paying this guy to do an interview for. Nah, bro. Now that's some social media bullshit right there, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, because I don't know, typically I don't know if people know how this work, but I know how this work. But typically, when you are the journalist or an investigator, you're not the one being paid to come and do it. You actually pay them to do the interviews and stuff like that. So this would be kind of backwards.
This is a reach. This is Twitter, YouTube, TikTok talk.
Because and I just
idiots.
Right, and I just got done finding out and asking about, because I got y'all, if y'all don't, I'm not trying to shout his channel out and like that, but he has a really great channel. Nate the Lawyer is his channel, but it's a lot of people that I contacted since this, and nobody can verify that these dudes got counsel before the story even came out. That's not even verifiable right now. It's like it's an internet. It's like a myth. It's like the whole thing when people say if you don't get your kids vaccinated, they can't go to school, and everybody just roll with it, and it's not true. So like right now, everybody's saying these kids lawyered up before they even, and I'm not finding it. And I'm asking several different people that are high ranked that I know. Even if
I heard it from, I heard it with all the, Rashid Richie, he said it. A lot of people, it's out here that they lawyered up before the ink was dry. Even your boy Willie D. Too. Even Willie D said it. Willie can never be wrong.
but we like the thing is that, bro, like, come on, man. Even let's just go to the wildest scenario that this lady paid this man. How the hell will we know? How the hell will we know?
Yeah, because you know what? All the interviews I did with Fox News and Newsmax and all that, people were saying I got paid. They don't pay you.
And this is mentally slow people that come up with these crazy theories, bro.
Well, it is good. It is good PR. I mean, I give it. It's free PR for you if you're trying to use it as such. So, I mean,
yeah, but let's go with that one, Uncle Tom. Why not go to like the lead attorney that is actual lawyer?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, my question was, would you not expect them to lawyer up if you see what the hell is going on in news? I mean, the Carmelo Anthony thing just got done. Why wouldn't you think it would? Let's be honest, the blacks wouldn't literally break.
So this was going to happen, right? They already made up the whole thing that this lady paid this man, right? Cool, no problem. So what this idiot is going to go ahead and do is go to ChatGPT and create a receipt of a wire transfer. And believe it.
I know, man. I know a lot of people are saying it, but I'm just not finding it that they actually did that. Because
I'm not saying they are. I don't even care. Right. To be honest with you. It doesn't change anything. I expect them to lawyer up. I expect it.
They're gonna the transfer is gonna say Wells Fargo Bank, Judge, whatever her name is, to Officer Tatum LLC. Is going. They're gonna believe it too. They're gonna believe it too.
Right. We got the LLC and a screenshot of her giving him $50,000 to go out there and interview her sons. Well, then who paid for Brandon Tatum to interview the black dude then?
And you can write a message too. Hey, no, it gets better. You can write a message for this thing a transfer, right? And the message say blackmail. You're gonna write it out too.
Hey, listen, man. People gonna make their money off this. And, some people ride these things till the wheel fall off. And I can't blame them. They got more exposure than I do. So, that's why I don't do it, because the race baiting shit is just not my thing. That's all the internet has come to is just race baiting.
That's the gang of social media, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's what makes it fucking
Wait. Hey, I need that bread, man. I heard the effing sucks, man. Come on, man.
Oh, did I say it?
Yes, you said effing sucks. Can you please send me my $5, please? And thank you.
No.
Like what would happen? Like what would happen? Okay, for example, what would happen? What would happen if I got these? What if I get a hold of Brandon Tatum and ask him for these people's phone number, how to get in contact with them? If I brought those young men on my channel and I talk to them straight up like this, what's gonna be said about me? I guarantee it's gonna be the same exact thing. I'm cooning. I'm trying to. They never gonna accept me to be white. I'm sitting here tap dance for them. I'm just trying to find some way to just not accuse. I'm trying to take up for. What's gonna be said?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, dude, I'm telling you, I've done this long enough to know there is not going to be any winning, which is why I always shoot and go straight for the truth, regardless of what anybody got to say, whether they on the left, the right, black, or white. I just want the truth of what happened. That's it. Whether you think I'm trying to play the game or pander or anything like that, I don't care. That's you. But I know
What's your
what
cash
I'm
app,
doing.
bro?
It's in hold on, it's in the chat right here. IZSHOBANZ $IZSHO.
That's way too much. That's way too much.
Come on, man. It's in the chat. Just hit the damn
That's
link,
where I'm
man.
going. That's why I'm going there. I'm looking at what it says.
Hit the link, man.
But Uncle Tom, that's the game
Because
of especially of YouTube, man. Just to keep like nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining, bro.
absolutely.
Well,
And
I care about the truth.
if you are a YouTuber, right, you want this to go as long as you can, so you can continue. You know what I mean? Put your conspiracy little thing in it. You know what I mean? Keep it going and going and going.
But that's not necessarily. I mean, overall, I could understand what you're saying. You're not necessarily wrong about that. Thank you, Uncle Tom.
Never
You're not
wrong, bro.
necessarily wrong about that. I ain't gonna go there. But at the same time, what I'm saying is there's people like me who do want the truth and are not doing this for a race baiting thing. Like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that it's not cool the way that we act like race never plays a part in some of these things. Like it does sometimes, and that's unfortunate.
If you want the truth, like you say you want, you will literally go to the scene of the crime and start there and backtrack everything onto the last person, brother.
No,
Okay?
because if you
That's
like
not true.
you got paid by the judge to do it though. So you can't do that.
Right, that's not true.
I'm teasing.
That's not
You know
true.
what I'm saying, though?
You cannot quote unquote find the truth on the live stream, bro. Like you gotta
That's not necessarily true either. I don't know what you're talking about.
You want to resolve the case on a string. Okay, cool. You got it.
I'm not mad like a god doggone Columbo, bro. I'm just a guy who wants to know the truth, but I'm not like mad like a Columbo. Come on, man. Let's get
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna
And
lie.
that's why he said you can't find the truth on a live stream.
You can though. You can though. You can literally.
Yeah,
you can guess. You will not be able to find the truth, and you might guess right, but you won't be find the truth this way, brother. Come on now.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but I mean, hold on. You're entitled to your belief.
It's the facts, bro.
Let's get back to it.
Tell me,
I believe
somebody got clapped on the corner of Jefferson and Livonia, and you're gonna tell me you're gonna resolve that crime from here, bro? You can't do that, bro.
Bro, if you okay, let me just get back to this.
Chandelier Island, Petty Boy. I mean, it wasn't just Horn Island specifically, but where I was at Horn, there were boats everywhere, and not just like random boats, but like, marine resource boats and, cops and, the whole nine. Like, it wasn't like there was just a couple boats looking for Nolan. There was planes and helicopters and, everybody. So.
And then after this, obviously they didn't find Nolan that day.
Right.
And so what was your reaction like when you heard the news, or how did you hear the news that they found Nolan's body?
Well, the next day, it got to be about 1:00 on July 5th. And I was like, my mind started to turn. I was like, man, if he's not awake yet, like, where is he? Like, I got very, very worried. And, I was with my buddy Brooks the next day, and we're driving, and my buddies were texting my group chat. They were like, hey, listen, and I got a phone call from my buddy Trace, and he was like, hey man, they just found his body. And I was like, I wanted to have hope, but it was really, really hard to have hope when they haven't found your buddy in the last 2 days. And, but there's still a little bit of hope there, like maybe, he's not gone, and maybe, he's okay. But my reaction was just, I was with my buddy Brooks, and I broke down. I mean, I haven't experienced death a lot, but especially with someone I'm as close with as Nolan. And I mean, I broke down, and I sat there on my buddy Brooks' shoulder, and I cried, and I was upset. I made a couple phone calls to my buddies and checked up on my buddies because, I care about my buddies too. I mean, like, we're all experienced this. Like, we all realized at the same time. We all heard the news at the same time. Like, he's gone. And so it was really, really hard on me. I mean, I've never experienced something like this, and it was traumatic. I mean, I could tell you where and when I was there, when I got that phone call, where I was. And I just remember, like, it was insane. Like, I can't even put into words how upset I was, and how upset my friends were. So.
And then comes the stories and the backlash and the craziness. I mean, you guys are now hearing that you're responsible for it. You did it. You killed Nolan. So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police or?
Yeah. So the first time I talked to the police was July 7th. I talked to the lead investigator and I told him my whole story, top to bottom, dotted every I, crossed every T. I told them everything I knew, every little detail. I mean, everything I could, tell them to try to figure something out, Well,
you don't want to talk to the cops or?
No, of course not.
Guys?
Every person that was included, especially, the guys that you see on social media, everybody cooperated with the police fully. Nolan was with us on the way out and he rode out on the boats with us. So, we were the first people to get questioned. We cooperated with the police the first time they called us and, we talked to them, as soon as they needed, and we were fully cooperative.
And we see Benjamin Crump coming to town, made it about race.
Right.
What's your feeling about that? Do you think that any of this has anything to do with race or, because obviously something happened to Nolan. It appears that you guys may not have been involved at all. Well, I say may not. It's no evidence that you were involved at all. You guys had left.
Right.
But do you think that there's a racial component to any of this?
Of course not. I think if Nolan ever felt the most little bit uncomfortable around us, which we never gave him a reason to, but if he did, he wouldn't hang.
So, yo, let me. I hate to have to be this guy all the time. God, dog, this don't make no sense. Let me ask y'all a question. So Officer Tatum already basically exonerated those guys with
That's
Nolan.
what he did?
Hold on. Yo, can I finish my freaking question? Officer Tatum already basically exonerated those guys from any kind of guilt and any kind of participation in the Nolan Wells disappearance or demise.
How?
With that being said, by saying obviously you guys were already there's no kind of evidence that you guys had anything to do with it. You guys didn't have nothing to do with it. Y'all were already gone. Y'all already left the island. So
right. Why did he come to that conclusion?
Hold on. He came to that, but that's not y'all got can y'all please be patient for a second? Please.
I got you. I'll write it down.
So with that being said, my question to y'all is how can Warren definitively say that race has nothing to do with it if Officer Tatum already basically was saying that they didn't have anything to do with it? How does he know what anybody else, the intention that might have happened or what happened to Nolan? That's the question I have for y'all.
Because of the interview that he's conducting. If the dude sat there and said, we left at this time, Brandon Tatum is a former police officer. If the dude is sitting here saying, we did this at this time, at that time, and that we were over here, I got the phone call in the morning, it's easy to come to a rational conclusion that they weren't there when it happened.
No. You're missing my question. What I'm saying is, okay, Officer Tatum already came to that conclusion. Fine. I'm not asking you why he came to that conclusion. I'm not saying that he's wrong in that conclusion. I'm not even questioning the conclusion at all. I'm saying that's absolutely the conclusion that he came to. So let's go with that premise. Why is Warren then saying that race had nothing to do with it if they didn't have nothing to do with it? How could he possibly know the motive of whatever happened to Nolan Ryan? That's what I'm asking.
So in regards to him, in regards to the guy being interviewed, he's saying, "Oh, race had nothing to do with it, with us, with me."
Right, but they're already excluded, and by Officer Tatum's admission, they were already excluded. So why is he talking about him and having anything to do with it if they didn't have nothing to do with it?
Oh, because remember he just said when Ben Crump them came in and said this and all that, all of a sudden it became a thing about race.
Right, and then right after he said that, let me rewind it for y'all.
Okay,
because y'all obviously missed something that I didn't miss. Let me rewind that for y'all a little bit. I want y'all to pay close attention to what just happened.
And we see Benjamin Crump coming to town, made it about race.
Right.
What's your feeling about that? Do you think that any of this has anything to do with race or, because obviously something happened to Nolan. It appears that you guys may not have been involved at all. When I say may not, it's no evidence that you were involved at all.
So he asked him about Crump and he said, it appears as if y'all don't have nothing to do with it at all. Well, let me say it not appears, it's evidence that y'all have nothing to do with it at all.
So there's no evidence.
Right.
There's
That's
no
what Enigma. Shut up. I just said that. Are y'all slow? I just said that. So the question that I'm asking you is if he's already in the conversation letting him know that he doesn't think they have any involvement. The evidence doesn't show that they have any involvement. Then why Warren put himself back in it and talk about him as far as race and racially being a component? Because if they're not in it and something obviously happened to Nolan and they don't know what happened to Nolan, how could they possibly say that your race is not a factor in what happened to Nolan? What part of that don't y'all? What part of that question don't y'all understand?
So I see now. I see where you're getting at right now. So in my opinion, he himself, the guy that's being questioned right now, he can only answer that for himself. He can't answer that for everybody else that may or may not have had something to do with it.
That's what I'm getting at, right? And so what I'm trying to understand is, and I'm not the most psychologically or inclined person to know all the nuances of human behavior and human pathology, but I'm just curious as to why he would immediately put himself back into something that someone else already exonerated him from. Why would he put himself back in that mode? I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me. Can someone please help me understand that?
Yeah, and at the same time, like I said, by Tatum being an officer and know about interrogation stuff like that, maybe the question was framed that way because just in case it might be something they can use later on in court. See what I'm saying? He might have, because based off his experience and stuff, Tatum might have done this like this was second nature to him to question it and ask it in that way. And like you said, for him to throw himself back in, it's like, oh yeah, you can say that for yourself, but you can't say that there's nothing else from everybody else. But I guess because he said based off the evidence that they have, that pretty much means to Tatum that they had nothing to do with it. It wasn't racially motivated. But only the individual can answer that question.
Right. And it's right. Only the guilty individual can answer that question. That's the real truth. Only the guilty individual or the person that actually knows what happened can answer that question. Because you can't rule out, if you don't know, and it was 90% white people on the island, how can you rule out that race was involved if you didn't have nothing to do with it? All you can say is, hey, look, I don't know what happened to Nolan. We wasn't there. I hope not. I should hope that no one would do that to my friend.
Right, like it's like one of the things that happens, like in questions like that, it pisses people off when you kind of give a straight question. Like if it was me, I'd be like, no, not with me. I don't know. That's it. That's everybody. I don't know. With me, no, but everybody else, I don't know. That's it. Can't answer that for them.
I'm not grasping Nana's porch. I'm not grasping. You have to understand he already. Let me play this back for the slow people. See, just because y'all are slow doesn't mean I am. So let me just let you know that just because your IQ is not up there and you don't really understand much and understand communication doesn't mean that I don't. So let me play this back and maybe you'll catch it for the fourth time.
So I mean, we were the first people to get questioned. I mean, we cooperated with the police the first time they called us, and we talked to them, as soon as they needed, and we were fully cooperative.
And we see Benjamin Crump coming to town, made it about race.
Right.
What's your feeling about that? Do you think that any of this has anything to do with race, or because I mean, obviously something happened to Nolan. It appears that you guys may not be involved at all. I say may not. It's no evidence that you were involved at all. You guys had left.
Right.
But do you think that
it's no evidence that you guys were involved at all? You guys left. So that's basically Officer Tatum taking the onus and the accountability away from them in this particular conversation. Whether it did or not is not even my question. So in this particular conversation, we're assuming that they are not guilty at all, that they had nothing to do with this. But Benjamin Crump, go ahead.
That's because from what he's seen, his police experience, and the evidence presenting in front of everybody, that's what he can see, so he can come with the conclusion that from what I can see, so what has been told to the public, there is no evidence to support the case that these guys.
I got you. That's not even my point.
That doesn't mean 100% that he's correct, but that's what he can see.
I got you. That's not even a point that I'm asking, though. That's not at all. I'm assuming that everything that he's seeing, Officer Tatum, everything that he's saying is correct. I'm going with that, right? I'm going with that. So what I'm saying is, then why would this be Warren's response?
There's a racial component to any of this?
Of course not. I mean, I think if Nolan...
How could you say of course not? That's what I'm asking about. F what Officer Tatum is talking about. I'm going with everything Officer Tatum is. All the evidence points to these kids had nothing to do with it. All the evidence points to they didn't do nothing involved. How can this kid then go back and say, of course, race had nothing to do with it? How would he know?
It's his perspective. What do you? That's so. I don't even know how to even. That was the dumbest goddamn point that you trying to make right there.
Are you stupid? Are you dumb?
It's his perspective. From his perspective, of course he's going to say it's not nothing to do with it.
Why? Why would he? Why would he?
It's his
Why would
perspective.
That be? Yo, are you? But don't you understand? Listen to what he says next. That should give you a freaking clue, you slowpoke. Since I'm the dumb one. Listen to what he says next, dummy.
Never felt the most little bit uncomfortable around us, which we never gave him a reason to, but if he did, he...
Why would he put it back on him? This is what I'm saying. He said, oh, well, if he was the least bit uncomfortable around us, well, Officer Tatum already told you that y'all didn't have nothing to do with it. So why are you putting yourself back in it?
Because he's literally talking about him. What the fuck?
Yo, pay me again, stupid. Pay me my other $5.
Dumbest shit I've ever
You're
heard.
dumb. You're dumb, bro. You're dumb.
You're
dumb.
You're dumb, bro. Pay me my other $5, dumb.
Like
dummy, pay me my other $5.
You over here stretching like a muff. Boy, I swear to God.
Pay me my other $5 before I kick you off.
Because that is crazy that you keep saying something because he's sitting there asking him a question about how he felt that he wouldn't say what he said.
Are you serious?
On, man.
You cannot be that slow.
Oh my God.
He already told, hold on real quick, Blanco. He already told him that, listen, all the evidence shows that y'all didn't have nothing to do with it. And y'all had already left. So we are saying you don't got nothing to do with it. So with that being said, obviously something happened to Nolan. But from your perspective, would you say that race had nothing to do with it? That the race has anything to do with it? And he said, absolutely not. Because,
I know what he said. I heard him.
Hold on. And pay me my money. He said, absolutely not. Because if Nolan felt uncomfortable around us, then he wouldn't have been around us. That is a psychological tell, stupid.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh my God. Okay, you're right.
You reaching hard. You trying to stroke that man's scrotum so goddamn hard it's ridiculous. That man.
How? When I'm not even.
Man, just keep stroking that man.
I'll pause. Keep paying my money before you keep
I'm
talking about me.
I'm gonna pay your money, but you
hurry up.
Stroking him.
You're taking too long by talking about stroking. Hurry up.
I know.
Wait, whoa, partner, whoa. Pause, man. Nah, nigga. Hell no. Pause, my brother. Pause.
Let me just say this. First of all, the first thing is he wouldn't have spoken absolutes. He said absolutely not. There is no way. Yo, are you serious? You don't understand communication. See, I'm not. One thing I do understand, and I'm very good at, is communication. Okay. An absolute answer is no. It tells you all that you need to know. How can he say absolutely not?
What did it tell you? What did he tell it? What did it tell you? What's it? You just
I'll tell you after you pay me my money.
What did it tell you, nigga?
I'll tell you after you pay me my money. I'll tell you. Good. Pay me my money.
This is the dumbest,
bro.
I get what you're saying, bro.
But at the same time, man, it's like the dude know his friends. Like if somebody said, "Hey, is you telling me?" Hey, now look, y'all. No, I ain't about to make this no internet clip. But if somebody asks, if somebody says something to you and you know it involved your boy Angry Man, and you said absolutely not, well, how can you say that though, Izzy? You know, because I know my man Angry Man is not. You throw whatever words you want to in there.
Stroking him. He was stroking him.
He know that his friends, they've been friends for a long time. He know that his friends them are not like that.
But his friends weren't the only people on the island, MRM. It was over 1,000 people on that island.
Now I get where you're getting at, right? But remember,
and his friends is already exonerated in Officer Tatum's scenario. So his friends are not even in it as far as Officer Tatum is concerned.
Right. So what I'm saying though is that I know this is a young man, man. He's answering this question according to him thinking about what Tatum is talking about as his group of friends. Now, everybody else on the island, I get it. It's like But he didn't ask him that question. Like, do you think anybody on this island is
I
racist?
think-
No, but he did.
He literally answered for. He literally answered in the aspect of him and his friends. He didn't answer
Right.
in the aspect of everyone else. Mr. Communication specialist.
But he could. But that's the point, stupid. Because him and his friends were already exonerated, sir. Mr. Smarty guy.
Oh my
They
God,
was
you sound
already
retarded.
exonerated.
You sound
I
retarded.
think the
No, don't
question.
say that word.
I think,
Don't say that word. That's
I think the question was asked incorrectly.
That's TOS.
Because I see what you're saying is the question was asked incorrectly, bro.
Mhm.
And the boy answered the question pretty much like on some like he pretty much answered for him, and he in a way he answered for the group too. In a way, he's like the
For
spokesman of
everybody
the
that
group.
was on the island, exactly. He answered for everybody that was on the island, and he can not do that.
Because-
Or he
No,
made
he
it
answered for his
personal.
friends.
Right?
reason-
He made it personal to him and his friends, and that's what I'm trying to say. Go ahead, Blanco.
And the reason why I said the question was asked incorrectly is because once you say like, yo, from what I see, there is no evidence that you did anything. Obviously, you sitting on my couch, right? So obviously I can go from there, right? What do you think it happens to him? It would have been like a better question. You know what I mean? Because he don't have no way to know what happens to the boy anyway. If he's not involved,
Unless he have nothing to do with it. Exactly. Exactly my points. Look,
Tom called us, and we talked to him, as soon as they needed, and we were fully cooperative.
And we see Benjamin Crump coming to town, made it about race.
Right.
What's your feeling about that? Do you think that any of this has anything to do with race, or because I mean, obviously something happened to Nolan. It appears that you guys may not have been involved at all. When I say may not, it's no evidence that you were involved at all. You guys had left.
Right.
they're already gone. You guys have left. I'm not gonna say may not. I'm saying there's no evidence at all that you guys were involved at all. You guys had already left. They're already gone. Why would he put himself back in that scenario when they're already gone from it in Officer Tatum's line of questioning? That's what I'm asking, and it's not a stupid question.
It's
not at all.
But it's all right.
Boy, are you yo MRM? That's a stupid question. Yes. What I'm asking is, I asked MRM. I didn't ask you because we know how you are. That's a stupid question to say. Hey, look.
Y'all
bugging. Do you think that the question was
Wait,
asked,
hold on.
correctly?
Hold on. Give me a second. Nah, he didn't ask it correctly. But like MRM alluded to, is Officer Tatum been policing so long that is a psychological mind F of a question. The way he asked it is one of them things, like, them psychological
Get
profile
you in the crime.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a psychological question where it's asking you about guilt or innocence without asking you about guilt or innocence. You make the person feel at ease, you take them out of it, and psychologically, if they put themselves back into it, it's an indication of something. Now, I'm not as psychologically advanced as that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know all the ins and outs and nuances, but I do know that there's a such thing as that. That's a tactic. That's a way of getting to the truth without asking the truth directly.
Yeah, and we got that classic clip from Menace to Society when the guy was like, you effed up, right?
You know you messed up, right?
You effed up, right?
Exactly.
No. You understand you effed up, right?
So you was getting the beer. So you said you got the beer at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well,
he was like,
no. You effed up, right? No, you understand that, right?
40, but you bought the beer at 11:30, right?
Izzy.
Yeah, we bought the beer at 11. You effed up, right?
So hold on real quick. Hold on. I appreciate. Hold on, real because I was really asking MRM, and I wanted to really get. And you next, Uncle Tom. MRM, for real. Is that really a crazy assessment? And you can be honest with me. I don't care, but I'm asking. You think that's a crazy assessment to have picked out the fact that the way he asked the question and the fact that he implemented himself back into the equation, even though the interviewer took him out of it?
No, because I knew what he was doing.
What was he doing, MRM, for the uninitiated?
The way he framed the question. If he would have said, Ben Crump came in town and you guys already been exonerated from it. Are you and your friends, group of y'all, do you think this is racial reason amongst you guys? He's like, no, but the way that it's framed, it seemed like it was generalized for anybody that was on that island.
Yep.
So it's almost like he spoke for everybody on the island when he said no.
There you go.
And subconsciously, why would a person do that? What are some of the reasons why a person would do that?
You might answer that way or him ask the question that way?
Answer that way. To try to go ahead.
See,
I know the answer to it.
The trick is that the young man was answering on behalf of his group of friends, but yet at the same time, the way it was framed that way is almost like he made it to where he answered for the whole entire island or possibly the community.
Right. But why would somebody answer in that way?
He didn't know he was
the
being
only
tricked.
thing.
No, let me know.
No.
He was being tricked,
right?
Not being tricked. Yeah, there it is, right there.
But subconsciously, why would someone answer in that way?
Because I believe, from my point of view, that would be him and his friend experiences with Nolan. Like I ain't noticed no color jokes.
No. So subconsciously, and y'all can look this up and see if I'm wrong. Subconsciously, the reason why a person would answer like that is for cognitive dissonance. Because again, it's a protective measure. A lot of lying, even if he didn't do anything directly to Nolan, a lot of lying is for protection against the lie, because people don't like to lie per se. So when you ask a question like that, the cognitive dissonance, because you can't go absolute with everybody on the island. There's no way rationally or logically you can answer that question in that. And to answer your question that asked me about the stupidity, no, I actually tested to be a genius, but that's a whole nother story for another day. There's nothing stupid about me. But the problem is that you don't understand in communication the way that FBI profilers and people catch people up in lies and know if they're lying. There's different techniques that they use and different ways that they ask them questions that you don't even know if they're asking you really. They don't ask you yes or no questions. They put you out of it. And if you put yourself in it, along with some other tells, that can be an indication that there's more to the story than what you're telling. Just for the record. And y'all can look it up if you think I'm wrong.
Are you done?
Yes,
My good sir. I don't want to interject if you're not done speaking.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. So seeing how you're done speaking, can you tell me from what you heard this man answer, because he answered for his friends group. He literally said him and his group of friends. He didn't say the whole island. His group of friends. Him and my friend. Me and my friends. If whatever that boy name was, no one had some problem with me and my friends, he wouldn't have been out there talking about him and his friends, not the whole island. So for you to say that was a tell that he was speaking for the whole island, what did his words say? His words said something totally different than what you're electing that he did. Subconsciously or consciously. Did you hear the words that he said?
I did.
Okay, so where in his words did he say that he was speaking for anyone other than him and his group of friends that were on the boat?
Where Officer Tatum had already expelled him and his friends from that particular thing, because what happened to Nolan was race a factor in what happened to Nolan? That's a very general question.
Yeah.
Especially when you and your friends are not even included in that scenario.
Oh. Now, get to where he answered it like I asked you. I didn't ask you about Mr. Black Dark over here, okay? And I want you to answer for the white boy the words that came out of his mouth.
Right. And that's when I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What the point and the premise that I was making is the fact that it was a general question that excluded him and his friend group.
Yeah.
And he specifically brought it to him and his friend group is an indication of something greater, because again, he was excluded from that conversation. He was excluded from that explanation. And he immediately brought himself and his friend groups back into it.
Absolutely. Now, when you get back to what I asked you about the words that came out of the white boy's mouth.
Right.
Speak to that. Don't
I
give
just
me
did. Are you slow?
No. You're
Are
the
you
slow
slow?
one. You
I
haven't
just did.
answered
I
for
literally
the
did.
words that came out of his mouth.
Yo, so I did. You can get as loud as you want. The exact words that he said was absolute. His exact words was absolutely not. If Nolan was uncomfortable around me and my friends, then he wouldn't have been around me and my friends. Were his exact words.
Okay, so where in that did he speak for the whole
So,
island? Like I asked you, where in that did he speak?
Boy, you got to be the slowest. You got to be the dumbest damn Negro in captivity,
No,
boy.
sir.
No.
Not at all.
I'm gonna need you to be quiet. You got to be slow. You so slow that you think I'm slow. That's a damn shame. I just told you. Hold on, real quick. I just told you the Nigma's exact words. So literally, I'm listening to exactly what he said. If you play it back, hush up for a second. If you play it back, you'll hear exactly what I just said he said. So what I'm saying to you is the fact that Officer Tatum asked him a very general question about everybody on the island, which excluded him and his friends.
Yeah.
The fact
I'm still there with you.
The fact that he answered and put him and his friends as the main subject of what happened to Nolan Wells, and you don't think that that's significant?
It's not.
Okay.
Right. So what did he confess in that?
Oh my God!
What did you learn from him saying if he was uncomfortable by me and my friends, even though we got on the boat and all the bull crap that he said, right? Where he was talking when he was answering for him and his friends. Please tell me what you learned that you can give to the FBI. That's so telling.
I don't. They're involved. Listen, they're involved. So they got profilers. They know more than me.
No. I'm asking you, what did you learn from your experience? What did you learn in that specific moment? What he said. What did you learn? That's concrete. Not innuendos.
I'm about to tell you.
Okay, yeah. Please do, my good sir.
Okay. What I learned is that he knows more than what he's saying.
How?
And that there is some level of guilt or some level of truth that is trying to come out in the words that he's saying, even though he's not telling the whole truth. That's what I learned.
And how did you get that answer?
Man, I can't explain it to you more times than I told you 6 times.
So in other words, you're inferring everything that you're going. You're inferring it. You don't know for sure. You're just inferring it, just like everyone else. Your emotions are in it. That's what it is. Your emotions are so.
I'm
far
not
into
emotional.
This.
That's why
you're
I'm not
emotionally
emotional
involved.
about
You're
that.
invested in this to think that just because someone answered for him and his friends group that he's talking about everyone on the island and he knows more than what he knows. If you said, like you said, if Officer Tatum just exonerated him answering a question saying how he felt with his so-called friend, since we know that they were so-called friends, why wouldn't he be on edge about someone saying, "Oh, you think it's about race? Heck no, it ain't about no dang race. I know him and his mama and his cousin and his dogs. I've been knowing him since I was woo-de-woo-de-woo." Of course he would have feel offended by someone else that's not lived there, don't know them, that come back and make it about race. Considering everything that's been going on in this sorry country dealing with race with the jigs, like yourself, my good sir.
All right, so I'm gonna help you out a little bit. I got you.
Go ahead, help me out, my good sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you out. Since I'm the one that's so emotional, it's crazy. All right, let's get to that.
But do you think that there's a racial component to any of this?
Of course not. I mean, I think if Nolan ever felt the most little bit uncomfortable around us, which we never gave him a reason to, but if he did, he wouldn't hang out around us. But if you go look on, like my friends have had Nolan posted all over our social medias, since freshman year in high school. Like, if Nolan ever felt uncomfortable with us, why would he be hanging out with us all the time? I mean, every day.
I just want to let you know.
He's still talking about him and his friends.
Hold on. Exactly. I just want to let you know, and I don't know, MRM, I'm sure you kind of are aware of this, right? In speech pathology, right? In speaking.
Oh, now he's speech pathology.
Hold on real quick. Jesus Christ. It's speaking. When you go into these in-depth, yo, tell me I'm wrong, MRM. MRM, I'll need you to tell me I'm wrong. Did you not hear the question that Officer Tatum asked him? And then look at the line of answer that Warren gave. Just real quick. And tell me that this does not fit the profile of a lie. I'm not saying that he's guilty, but tell me from what Officer Tatum asked him and the in-depth answer that he gave him that had nothing to do with what was asked, for real. Tell me if this does not fit the profile of a lie. Shout out to Mo Love in the building. Say, hey, Mo Love, I appreciate y'all. Be like Mo Love and support the shows. Hey, shout out to you. Hey, everyone, support the show. Thank you so much for supporting the show. I appreciate you. Tell me I'm mistaken about this, MRM. Here you go. And I'm gonna pull it up for Uncle Tom. Here you go.
Made it about race.
Right.
What's your feeling about that? Do you think that any of this has anything to do with race, or because I mean, obviously something happened to Nolan. It appears that you guys may not have been involved at all. When I say may not, there's no evidence that you were involved at all. You guys had left. Right. But do you think that there's a racial component to any of this?
Of course not. I mean, I think if Nolan ever felt the most little bit uncomfortable around us, which we never gave him a reason to, but if he did, he wouldn't hang out around us. But if you go look on, like my friends have had Nolan posted all over our social medias, since freshman year in high school. Like, if Nolan ever felt uncomfortable with us, why would he be hanging out with us all the time? I mean, every day we're back from college, we hang out and we're around each other all the time. So absolutely not. I would never look at Nolan any other way than I would any of my other friends. I mean, he was like a brother to me.
You guys have been interviewed by law enforcement. Mm-hmm. All of you guys have given statements. But then I think that there's a part associated with this that's being rumored out in the public. And that is the situation with the cell phone, potential deletion of messages. When did that occur and what happened there?
Oh,
shout out to Officer Tatum.
Didn't have the whole thing in there. Oh,
we're gonna go to the next part. Okay. But MRM, hold on real quick. I'm gonna let MRM answer that, and then you got next, Blanco. But I'm pulling this up real quick while y'all speaking. MRM, are you familiar with how when people lie, and one of the tell signs of someone lying is when they over-explain, and they are over-explaining on something a little bit different than what was asked. Are you familiar with that phenomenon and how that works?
Yep. Familiar with it. But I mean, I'm not, let me not say but. I'm gonna say and that also can be a thing to where people are under so much pressure they got to try to prove that they are not a particular way or a particular thing because of what's being portrayed of them. So we got people right now that are not racist, correct? And they'll say things like, no, I'm not racist. I got a black friend. Matter of fact, my daughter, she's with a black dude right now. And they got a child together. My grandchild is mixed. So no, I'm definitely not racist. So what I'm saying is that sometimes that can also be used as a means of showing that I'm really not this thing that I'm being portrayed to be. It can be both.
Okay. But I'm not just grasping for straws on that concept. That concept does exist, right?
It does exist.
Go ahead, this is the $1 million question, Easy. And we got to put it on the record. Do you think he's involved on that boy dying?
I don't have enough information to say yes or no yet. I don't. I really don't. I think it's possible, but I don't have enough information to say yes or no. There's some suspicion, but I can't say yes or no.
Yeah, and the reason I ask you that question is because, right, like you saying you asking all these questions, right? So let's just say you come back that he was involved, then you're gonna turn around and say, "You see, I was right all along," but you didn't pick a definite position.
No, I didn't. I'm
guilty or innocent.
Yeah. And in this one, you would have me to the left because I can't. I'm very objective in this particular situation, whether y'all want to admit it or not. I'm just asking the hard questions on both sides. I was asking people who were definitely saying that they were guilty some very hard questions, and I'm pointing the same thing at this one because I don't know. At the same time, what I can say is there are some inconsistencies in the stories he's telling, and he is showing signs of lying. So that's that I could definitively say.
You can't definitively say he shows signs of lying.
I absolutely can, and
you can. Now, what you can say is that he has inconsistencies in what he's saying, and that can be a form of him not telling the truth.
But to say that someone shows signs of it, you would have to be something more than a speech pathologist and a body language reader and all this other stuff. Are you any of those? Or you just be reading stuff, and then by your reading stuff, you know exactly what someone be doing. Just like you're an
Yeah.
FBI agent one time, now you're a speech
I never
pathologist.
said
Before
said
that, you're a
that.
body language reader.
I never.
mean,
Well, first of all, see, you're doing too much. But I actually did study body language. If you want to be, ask Angry Man. If you think that I'm lying and you think that I'm making it up, ask
I
Angry
don't
Man.
care.
Okay, so let me finish. So since you don't care, I care. So since it's my channel, right? So ask Angry Man if you think that it's a game or you think I'm playing or lying. Ask Angry Man if I have not extensively studied body language and I have not extensively studied when people are lying or not. I'm a professional poker player. I was trying to be a professional poker player, like on a big grand scale. So reading people's tells, reading if people are telling the truth, how they move is important. Also, there's some other things that I used to do as a profession that being able to read body language is absolutely essential. So I absolutely am pretty much an expert in body language.
I used to be a
How are
professional.
hold
I used
on,
to be a
Tom.
professional liar, sir. So can you tell
Okay.
me if I'm lying right now?
Okay, cool.
How are you like a professional body reader when you like blind?
Well, probably because I'm not blind. Probably because I'm not blind, right? That's probably the answer to that. That's probably the answer to that because I'm not blind. There you go.
This is terrible.
There you
It's
go.
all right. It's all right though. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I understand that you did some extensive study in the body language, but not one time you say his body language said he was lying.
Okay.
No, but on a serious note, is
It's being
he
honest.
can potentially be lying, but that doesn't mean he bodied that boy. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure like you can probably turn around and ask him. Let's say Officer Taylor would turn around and ask him, "Have you ever made racist joke when you and Nolan was joking around, roasting each other?" The political answer would be like, "No." I'm pretty sure little Joe every now and then, hey man, what you about to go home eat fried chicken? You see what I'm saying? Say something like that, right?
But Poppy,
So
that's
obviously he would say
oh,
no out
sorry.
loud. Did he lie by answering the question? Yes, that doesn't mean he clapped the boy.
Right. And that's absolutely the truth. I literally said that. You asked me directly. And do I think that he had something to do with Nolan Wells' demise? And I said, I cannot honestly answer that. At this point, I don't have enough information. So I absolutely would have to agree with what you just said. It does not mean that he clapped him. What it could indicate is that he knows a little bit more than what he's saying. And that is an absolute, but we're gonna get into it. Go ahead.
Um, you don't have enough evidence to say he's lying either. You're just inferring and speculating that he's lying. You don't have an absolute detector that knows he's lying. You don't. So quit acting like you're not inferring, just like what everyone else is doing. You're inferring he did something or he's lying. You don't know. This is what I have a problem with you people. You can say he has signs, he has tails, he whatever, but that doesn't say that he's, effectively that he's lying.
So there's an agent. There's an agent. Yo, be quiet for a second, man. Come on, man. There's an agent by the name of David Lieberman, right? And he wrote this book. And in this book is called I think the name of the book is Never Be Lied to Again. Okay. And he was actually an FBI profiler. So what the scenario is this, okay? So it's take yourself, the quote is taking yourself back into the trouble. That's what I was referring to. I didn't have the actual thing, so I had to look it up. So it's taking yourself back into the trouble. So what I said is Officer Tatum did something that a lot of officers do. He took them out of the trouble and made it general. What